Hey guys, so we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about what is happening in your life 3 years from now. So we're going to take a peek into your future, see what's going on with your lifestyle, with your schedule, what has changed, what has stayed the same, what has come true for you, and all the information we can get out about what is going on with you in 3 years' time. So if you are watching it at some point in the future, by the way, you can totally use it as a timeless reading with timeless messages. Just apply it to your current situation and add 3 years whenever you stumbled across it is the time you were intended to watch it. So don't worry about it if you're watching it a year from now or something. I've been wanting to film this reading for a really long time. I actually filmed a different version of this at the beginning of my tarot channel, but I've been wanting to revisit it because I absolutely love this subject. I love finding out all the details for you guys. And I saw that the Gem Goddess just posted her version of this, which is your life in 5 years. It's really good. I'm sure you guys have already seen it, but I just love this subject. It's so interesting to me. So with that being said, today we have a beautiful selection of crystals for you guys to choose from. And if you're already feeling called to a certain crystal, you can totally skip ahead to that timestamp. I'm going to post them all in the description and in the comments as well. I'm going to throw the numbers up on the screen in just a moment for each of the piles. If it's your first pick a card reading, you want to go towards the one that your energy is feeling called to and drawn to. And don't overthink it too much. Just go with your first instinct because that will be the pile with the message for you. I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon up. I just posted an extended version of the reading I did about what do they think of you. So we get all the additional details. We get messages from their higher self and stuff that we couldn't really say on YouTube. So it's a really good one. Definitely check that one out if you liked that reading. And a few days before that, I had posted what is the gossip about you. So that one's a really fun, juicy one. We find out what people are saying behind your back. And at the time you're watching it, this video I've already posted, or I'm just about to post, not sure which, but we'll see with the timing of reading about what your dreams are trying to tell you. So there's so much content over on Patreon. There's over 25 readings that you will get access to and new ones being posted all the time. So come join the party over at Patreon. A link is in my description for that. And if you want a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, which I'm also putting in the description. So you can head there if you want a private one-on-one uninterrupted tarot session about whatever issue in your life you want to talk about. We will pull cards for you and find out all the information we can get. So like I said, link in my description for that for briarrosetarot.com. So with all of that being said, I am going to put the numbers up on the screen. And if you guys need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. But we are going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one. So for your tarot, you guys got the Lovers, Page of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands, Six of Wands, Nine of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. So wow, what is coming in for you guys is a love situation. First of all, a soulmate probably. And I feel you guys are going to be a lot more emotionally fulfilled at this time in your life. You guys are going to be in a relationship that it seems like is going to be extremely satisfying for you. And you might also be pursuing some hobbies or some kind of a career that might be a little bit creative. I could see writing. I could also see someone on social media in some way. Maybe that would involve some level of communication. So social media where you might be talking or you might be writing out really long captions, or there may be some level of communication in some form. Or you could be like writing, you could just be doing this on the side, but you guys feel very emotionally fulfilled at this stage. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with this relationship that is coming in where this person just really loves you, adores you, and connects with you. For some of you guys, this person may pay for you. So it might be like a stay-at-home spouse situation, stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, and they want to maybe give you that space to pursue these hobbies so you don't have to worry about it financially. Because with the Five of Pentacles, it can talk about a financial adjustment period. So maybe you're not earning as much money at this time, but you're building it up and it's growing and it's working towards that. And you might just have the Five of Pentacles in your situation, but your partner has the Six of Pentacles, because with the Six of Pentacles ending, I definitely feel like you're getting some emotional or financial support in some form. So it's not like you're in a dire financial situation or something's horrible with that. It's like you do have this person to depend on. You have someone who is helping you out in some way financially. And this could even be from your business or something. It could be your business going well. But I do see a little bit of period of readjustment with that Five of Pentacles, where you're kind of like changing within that. Maybe you move from one career to another, and at first in your new career, you're not earning as much, or there's kind of a period of like, oh gosh, I don't know, I'm not earning as much as I was, and things are a little tight, but I do see you guys breaking through that. And it could be, I'm getting a message for some of you guys that with this timeline, because Spirit kind of on the other side they don't see time as the same way we do, as very like linear, and they don't always like pay attention. It could be you're in this current energy. It could be you're currently in this Five of Pentacles, and this is what's going to change at the end of it. Because with the Nine of Wands, I see that you guys might be in like a crowded field. Maybe that's why you guys are like figuring things out financially. A lot of those competitive fields, they might not pay as much at first, like, acting or modeling or singing or writing. There might be a period where, there's a lot of people competing with you and you're trying to be seen within that, or social media or whatever. But then I feel like over time, you are able to stand out. You're able to really show yourself as this individual and have people notice you and all of that. So that does come, and maybe that's when we lead into having more money. But I do see in 3 years, definitely you're going to have this romantic relationship that you guys feel so connected to. Like, I feel you guys just, honestly, it's like you could just hang out with this person all day long and laugh and have a good time with them and just vibe with them. Like, you're just so emotionally supported. It almost feels like it's different for you guys because there's like no stressing out about this relationship. Like, you're not nervous. You're not wondering how they feel about you. You're not, hoping you don't say the wrong thing or anything like that. You're just so calm. You feel like you can say anything to them. You feel like you could tell them whatever and they're going to be okay with it. So it's like you're just kind of able to relax. Like, I feel like for some of you guys, it's like, oh, this is what it's like. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been hoping for. And maybe it was a long time coming, but it feels like kind of a load off your mind that you can really just be with them and not be stressing about it, not be worried. And maybe you didn't think you were going to be in a relationship or something, but with this person, it just feels so easy that you're like, oh, of course I would be in this. Of course I want to date this person. So I feel like that takes up a lot of your time, and this person might be very supportive of you. They might be financially supportive of you. So you might not have to worry about, making a lot of money with this hobby or whatever this like passion project is, because they are just so happy to support you. They're happy to look after you. They just want you to be relaxed and for you to be happy. So let me get some of these cards. Spirit, what is going to be happening in pile one's life in 3 years? So we got new beginnings, compassion, happiness. I love that for you guys. Let's see if we can get one more thing. Animals. You guys might have some animals that you've adopted. You might have a big family with like at least you and your partner having like a little cat or a little dog or some kind of pet that you look after that takes up a lot of your time. And I do feel like for some of you guys, there's like a heartbreak energy where maybe at one time there was a lot of pain that you were feeling about an ex or an old relationship. It might have happened before this person comes into your life. And for you, it's just like, wow, I can relax. I can be with this person. I don't have to hide myself, and it just feels so different. So there's like a healing energy going on where it feels very fresh and new, and it feels like you're so excited. You can't get enough of them. You guys are both kind of so into each other, and again, I feel like you would just be that couple that has the same hobbies or the same interests, or you guys both like the same kind of movies or like the same kind of music, or there's some kind of commonality here where you don't have to have that awkward stage in the relationship where it's like, hi, I'm this person and I'm into that. Oh, I've never heard of that. What's that? Is that a book? Is that a movie? And the other person's like explaining themselves, and there's kind of this awkward like period where you just don't really know everything about the person. It feels like you guys just have the same, you're into the same kind of a thing, and everything just falls into place, and you guys just have this beautiful kind of comfortable life where you're not having to worry too much. And for those of you guys who would be interested in being a stay-at-home parent, I definitely see that as being an option, and that you guys, you might have a big family, you might have kids, pets, if that's what you guys want, if that's something you guys are interested in. So let me get some astro dice. So we got Leo, we got the moon, and we got the 11th house. So again, there's this energy for a lot of you guys of maybe having some kind of platform on social media. 11th house can have to do with technology, social media, all of that. And then we have Leo, which is all about kind of taking center stage and putting ourselves out there. So if that's something you guys have been considering doing, if you've been thinking about, I really want to like open this channel or start a Instagram or start a TikTok, or even something like I want to put my writing out there and it's going to be in the public eye, or I'm going to put my music out there and it's going to be in the public eye, I feel like you guys definitely will have some success with that, and you guys will be moving forward with that. In 3 years' time, it feels like there's a sense of being settled. Like you guys are happy, you guys are feeling good, and honestly, it feels like it's almost like I just heard the good old days or something. So I feel like, when you're older, you'll look back at this period in your life 3 years from now and you'll be like, those were amazing times, because it feels very settled, relaxed, easy. I'm seeing the image of someone getting breakfast in bed on like a Sunday morning, and it's just a cozy, easy, happy, relaxed feeling. It doesn't feel stressful. It doesn't feel like you're nervous and you're freaking out. And maybe that's why you got the 5 of Pentacles, is maybe you just don't have to worry about money. It's not at the forefront of your mind, and it's not a major kind of goal thing in your life. Maybe it's just that, like, for you, that area of your life is kind of taken care of to a certain extent, and so you're just not really funneling all your energy into it anymore. But I feel like there's a level of contentment and probably spending a lot of time at home, because I am seeing a lot of images of like a homebody or traveling with your partner. I feel like you and your partner are kind of going to be a little bit glued to the hip, like not in a dysfunctional way, but just like they're your favorite person. You're their favorite person, and neither one of you wants to spend a lot of time away from each other or with others or hanging out with a bunch of friends or out on the town. I feel like you love your hobbies, you love your interests, and then you kind of want to cozy up with your partner by the fire or watch Netflix or just have like a night in or go out to a restaurant, but both of you guys are just gazing into each other's eyes the whole night and you only have eyes for each other. And I feel like some of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, this is just, I would never be this way. I'm like not a relationship person, but I feel like you're going to be surprised, or you might be healing from this heartbreak and you're like, I just don't see how I could be feeling that way. Like, I'm just so in love with my ex. I don't see how I could feel this way about someone else. And I feel like it's going to really surprise you and make you realize what you deserve and how beautiful life can be. I just heard how sweet it is to be loved by you. So maybe that's the song that sums up the vibe for this pile. Let me get some cards from this deck. Sorry guys, my camera cut out. But yeah, I feel like that heart chakra area of your life, which is kind of the moon to me, is going to be really activated. You're going to just feel so connected and understood and fulfilled. And I really do see a lot of activation of that 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer and the moon. So home life and being at home and like maybe painting or having sleeping in the morning, and like maybe even redoing your house or something like that. Like I'm seeing a bunch of cozy blankets and like little candles, like candles decorating it and a fireplace and just like a cozy, happy vibe. So yeah, and I think with all tied up, like I feel like that was your older energy where maybe you were focused on someone in the past. Maybe you couldn't get over someone in the past and you felt really trapped. And this person kind of comes in to broaden things for you, open things up a little, and just make you realize how life doesn't have to be hard. Life can be really beautifully easy, and life should be easy. Life doesn't have to be about struggle and pain. And, I think sometimes we can glamorize like the struggle, and it is beautiful to be working for something and going after a goal, but also life is beautiful when we just take in all the goodness that it has to offer, all the sweetness, and we just accept that. Accept that life is about having fun, life is about finding joy, and life is about fulfilling our emotional cups. And I think you guys are doing that. What's happening for pile 1 in 3 years' time? So yeah, this is the energy I've been picking up on: broken hearts and victory. So I think you guys are healing that broken heart. I do see there's some broken heart at some point within these 3 years' time. Again, Spirit's timelines can be a little like not as clear as we think of like time. They don't really think of it that way. And for some of you guys, it might be your current energy is a broken heart, but it seems like it's something that does affect you and something that you guys at by 3 years from now, you definitely can look back at that memory of like, I was so upset and it really did a number on me and I never thought I would find love again. And you kind of are in a bit of a pessimistic vibe a little bit, I think, with love at some point within this 3 years' time. But then this relationship comes in to heal that and to make you realize that anything is possible and that you deserve love just as much as anyone else does. And there's no reason for you to be in this kind of negative energy or assuming the worst or thinking that like, well, that can't happen for me. It happens for other people, but I'm just not going to fall in love. Like, of course you can fall in love. You deserve to be happy and joyful. And then we have the victory card. And honestly, that's also reminding me of this 9 of Wands card. I feel like there is this fight to kind of get through a certain situation where there's a lot of competition. And for those of you guys who are thinking about doing that social media thing, it could be social media. It could be that, or a field that's just very oversaturated, or a work situation where there's a lot of competition and competitiveness in it. But I feel like you guys are really able to succeed. And for those of you guys who do have this partner who's willing to kind of pay for things for you, it's kind of an acknowledgement that maybe the fact that they're willing to do that allows you to focus more on this passion project, or allows you to not worry so much about finances, so that in 3 years' time, honestly, to me, what I'm getting is a focus on those other areas of your life, the emotional side of it, how you feel, and they're not talking as much about your finances. And for those of you guys, it might just be, some of you guys, it might just be that you're not like focused on like, I need money, I need to make money, money, money. And that might be because actually your finances are pretty much taken care of. It might be that your job pays pretty well. So you have a lot of this extra time and income to focus on your joys and your desires and your wants, but they're not bringing up money as like a major concern for you. So either maybe you don't have that much money, it could be, or it could be that it's somehow taken care of in some miraculous way. Or maybe you're just at that stage of your kind of evolution where you're able to manifest effortlessly and it doesn't worry a lot in your mind. That's what I'm getting. Let me get some cards from this deck. What's happening in pile 1's life in 3 years' time? Wait for winter. Okay. Hidden depths. I feel like your energy at this time, it just feels almost recently healed. Like I feel like there was a lot of healing happening. There was some heartbreak. There was some pain for a while. You guys maybe have been going through that same energy now, maybe even depression or anxiety or something like that. But it feels like you were really dealing with a lot and almost maybe caught up in your own energy and in hermit mode and just very pessimistic a little bit. And I feel like in 3 years' time, you get this kind of knowledge that it's okay to match up with someone else. It's okay to unleash yourself. It's okay to take things easy and go after. Maybe you develop this self-compassion and you stop pushing yourself so hard. Maybe you're at a really high-paying job, but you hate it, and emotionally you're just so unfulfilled, and you decide to leave to pursue a passion project. Maybe some of you guys have been linked up with a toxic family or something like that, but it feels like there's so much healing that happens in the next 3 years. And I'm feeling or hearing that that's preparing you for that soulmate. That is letting you have that space, because it's almost like with the energy that you were in the past, you couldn't have kept up that soulmate relationship because you would have maybe sabotaged it or been too stressed out or had your own unsafe, like dysfunctional ways of being in a relationship. So now, by the time you kind of clear all this out, that's what allows you to have the room and the space for being with someone on this level and having this deep of a connection that you might, again, I'm getting that some of you guys, you don't even believe it. You're like, that's never going to happen. But I feel like that's why Spirit wants to surprise you, and that's why it's so delightful to, you might look around at your life and be like, I don't even recognize this. Like, I never thought someone like me would be living in a little house with like 3 kids and 2 dogs and a parakeet or whatever. You just might be really like not really recognizing yourself. But there's an aspect of calmness, of being really chill, of relaxing, of being able to exhale and having this energy of like, I never really thought something like this was going to be for me, but I love that I have this kind of refuge, and I feel so fulfilled in this, and I feel so relaxed. And I am seeing some of you guys having a baby. Like, I'm seeing a little baby in my mind, and I'm almost seeing like a mom nursing the baby in like the quiet hours of the morning. So it feels like you live somewhere quiet. You might live in a house that's kind of tucked away from a lot of other houses, or you might live in an apartment that's just very calm and serene. I'm getting more of like a house vibe, or not, because just like the emotional energy of apartments with everyone stacked on top of each other, it feels so calm and chill wherever you are. So you might be living in a really nice space that you make really beautiful, decorate with your own taste and make it your own. And I feel that a lot of you guys are, honestly, I just keep getting surprised. I keep getting that you're like, how did this happen for me? How is this my life? And I feel like your partner, you guys might be members of the same soul tribe, or you knew each other in past lives, but it doesn't feel like a karmic relationship. It feels very relaxed. It feels like they really understand you and see the best in you. And you kind of need that extra compassion because you have been dealing with like some pain, and you kind of need to work through the trauma and processing all of that. We also got go outside. So it might be that you have been a little bit, I'm getting that some of you guys, you might live in an area where you have a lot of land. You might be far away from others where you actually live. And so there might be a lot of like nature around you. And it also might be an energy for some of you guys that you kind of are hermiting up with your partner a little bit, and you don't actually go outside that much. You kind of stay inside, or when you go in nature, it's just like, or when you go outside, you're going to spend time in nature and you're going to go on walks and stuff like that. Yeah, let me get some cards from this deck. What is going to be happening in pile one's life in 3 years' time? The horned cactus was resourcefulness. And then we got beloved, radical acceptance. Covenant, sacred contract. Yes, definitely. And Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. That's definitely an energy for you guys, is a lot of rest. And I'm literally seeing someone sleeping in and getting breakfast in bed, like I said, and just getting to like recharge themselves. We also got hollow bone teachability. So that was the one that fell on the floor. But I feel like with horned cactus, that's kind of the energy you guys have been in. Like, you have been a little prickly because you have been through so much. And life has been tough for a lot of you guys. So it's like you might just have had a pessimistic idea even now of things, of like stuff like that doesn't happen for me, or I'm never going to find the one, or I always get my heart broken. And I feel like this person is coming in with this radical acceptance. Like they really accept who you are. They see you as who you are. They might have this soul contract with you, where it's like nothing you do surprises them. Nothing you do throws them for a loop or makes them run for the hills or makes them nervous. They just know who you are on like a soul level. So there's like this kind of realization of like, you might even try to push them away at first, and they're like, I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm still here. And you're kind of like, wow, is this what it feels like? Like this feels so different to me, and this feels so unusual. Like I'm not used to this. I'm not used to someone not running away or treating me well or really looking after me and caring for me. And I do feel like your partner kind of looks after you and cares for you and just does a lot for you. So I feel like it really helps you. I feel like it's very healing for you. You might learn a lot from them. And I think because of that, again, you have the space to focus on like your interests, your hobbies, what brings you joy, the things that you truly love doing, and not so much about like, okay, so I have this 9 to 5, I have to be working, I have to be up at 6 a.m. every morning. Like, because they are willing to kind of take up that slack, you are able to really relax a little bit around them, and just in general in life, like you're just feeling a lot easier and happier. So I want to get some cards from this deck finally, if I can grab it. So what can you tell us about pile one's life in 3 years, Spirit? So we got success. I love that. We got leadership, forgiveness, and let's get one more. Okay, 2 came out, purification and gateway. So I feel you do feel very pure. You feel like, I feel like I'm hearing the song Clean by Taylor Swift, and I'm also hearing that line from Call It What You Want, where she says, I took a knife to a gunfight. And I love Call It What You Want because she's basically saying like, yeah, I had to go through the worst times and this horrible period in my life to get to where I am now. I had to. That was a part of the deal. Like I had to have everything ripped away so I could build back and be the way it is now. And so I feel like a lot of you guys, there may be some period of loss during this 3 years of time, but it's what allows you to have that clarity on what you needed to do differently. I think sometimes that's what the hardest lessons in our life are to teach us, and what we're supposed to learn is, you know, maybe you had an instinct that like this relationship was toxic, but you stayed in it for whatever reason. And so we've got to unpack all of that, and we've got to like convince ourselves that we deserve better. So I see that by the time this relationship comes in, you are much more able to receive, you're much more open to it, and it feels a lot better. And you might have this leadership position, like I was saying, the 6 of Wands. It could be with social media, or it could just be that you're really respected in your local community, or you're respected at work. But I am seeing a lot of you guys get a little bit of that attention, you know, get some focus, and it feels like it's because of your hobbies or your interests. And it doesn't have to be social media, by the way. I want to make that really clear. If you're like, that's not me and I would never want to do that, that's totally fine. Like I said, I definitely think it could be a creative pursuit like writing, painting, singing. It also could be just a hobby that brings you joy. So it could be like, I love to play golf and I just have been working on my golf game, or I am playing soccer in a local like soccer team with a bunch of coworkers after work, but I'm the best one on the team. Or it could be, you know, anything you do to bring yourself that emotional fulfillment. It could be gardening, something like anything, you know, knitting, but it makes you happy. And I feel like there is a level of you, some of you guys may be posting something about it somewhere and getting that feedback, or feeling like you have a community around you, you know, because there's all different kinds of Instagram accounts that can show people gardening or doing all different kinds of things. But I do feel like you're able to focus more on that emotional side of yourself, and it brings you a lot of healing and a lot of growth. And yeah, I think this is going to be a beautiful energy for you guys in 3 years time. I think you guys are going to be really happy and living a very kind of quiet life in the best way, in the most beautiful way, where you're not needing the drama to get by, you're not needing stress to feel alive. You just feel alive because of how beautiful and amazing your life is. So anyway, I really hope that resonated. Pile 1, let me know if it did in the comments, and make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe and have notifications on so you find out as soon as I post. And if you guys like how I read tarot, you should check out my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one a little while ago that was the extended version of how do they view you. So we get into all the details about how they view you and messages from their higher self, and more information over there than we got in the YouTube reading. I also posted what is a gossip about you just a little while before that. And either by the time you're watching this, I've either already posted or going to post what are your dreams trying to tell you. So that will be coming up either very, very shortly or already posted. We'll see. But anyway, oh, and if you want a private reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and get a one-on-one exclusive like tarot session just focused on you. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So for your tarot, you guys got the 6 of Cups, Knight of Wands, 7 of Cups, Judgment, 8 of Wands, Page of Cups, 4 of Swords, and the 5 of Cups. So at this time in your life, 3 years in the future, it feels like things are a lot of fun for you, that you're living a pretty active and outgoing life. You might be going out a lot, going out to like restaurants and having fun with your friends. But for some of you guys, you actually might have kids as well. So maybe you're just taking them to events, taking them to preschool, taking them to like other mom meetups or something. But I feel like you guys have a pretty fun social life. You guys are busy, but it's in a really good way. Like it feels like you are always going from this thing to that thing. You always have a packed schedule, but again, in a way that fulfills you and makes you feel good. You guys might be juggling a lot. That could be this busy energy that could happen with kids as well. I feel like a lot of you guys in this pile, you might be working out a lot. You might be waking up early to work out. And just, it feels like a lot of you guys wanted something like this or put this down on your manifestations. You guys were hoping to have these things happen. And when they do, it's kind of a lot of work, not like you're exhausted, but you know, it just takes time to, or it takes effort to make good things happen. And so I feel like you guys are doing a lot, but you love it. You feel invigorated, you feel happy. It feels like your schedule is pretty on point. It feels like you have a lot of things to look forward to. Like probably when you wake up in the morning, you have a long schedule that has like a million things to tick off, but you enjoy it. Like it's fun for you to be like, okay, so I'm gonna wake up. Maybe you are into like a lot of health at this time in your life, because I'm seeing things like a green smoothie or a green juice or a acai bowl for when you wake up, and then for your breakfast, and then maybe you're off to like a Pilates class or a yoga class or a spin class or something, and then you know your schedule is kind of like that, like boom, 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 doing a lot. And I feel you enjoy it. I feel you have fun with it. It doesn't feel to me like you're jaded. Some of you guys are going to be living in a very sunny type of location. I'm seeing places that just get a lot of sun. So maybe like the American South, at least I'm thinking of American places. Of course, there's lots of places all over the world that get sun, but at least in America, you know, it might be a place like LA, Los Angeles, or it could be the Southwest, like Arizona, that kind of a thing, even Texas and the American South. It just feels like there's some heat around you. Or if you're like, no, I'm just in a very cold area and I want to stay here, then that's just going to be the energy in your life. It's kind of sunny and bright, and it would be that kind of lifestyle that would fit in a place like LA where there's a lot of sun and you're waking up and doing a hike and then grabbing a juice and then running off to maybe like a sound bath or something like that. Yeah, it feels very active. It feels like you guys have a lot to do. Could also just be in your career that your career is busy, but you love it. So like you're a high paid lawyer, but you love your work and you love talking to clients and it gives you a lot of fulfillment. With the Four of Swords, you guys might have to like be very disciplined about your sleep schedule. It might be that you go to bed at like 8 p.m. so you can wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. or you go to bed at, 10 p.m. and you're up at 6 a.m. every day. And you're like, no, I can't go out. No, I'm not going to go out and grab drinks with you and party until 3 because I have to be up at 6. But I do see you guys having an active social life if that's something you want. Feels like you're able to hang out with friends. You're able to get that social cup fulfilled and you really enjoy it. So again, for those of you guys who have kids, I feel like a lot of those social activities might come in the form of like other parents or your kids' friends or just being around your kids. Like they're fun. You're enjoying it. You're enjoying parenthood. You're not like, oh, this is horrible, I hate it. You're like, I love it, I wanted this and I tried to manifest it. I'm so glad it's here and I love my life and I love dealing with my kids. They're so funny, they crack me up. There's a lot of joy coming through and something about the holidays as well. Like I feel like when it comes to be the holiday season, you guys just love that. You feel so fulfilled. You guys would probably be that type of person that would decorate for every season, like over the top Halloween decorations, over the top Christmas decorations, Easter, I don't know, July 4th is the one we have in the US for summer, but I don't know what other summer celebrations there are. But year round, you might have like decorations up depending on where you live and what your country's day of celebration is and how you celebrate. But I feel like there will always be something to celebrate for you, some kind of decorations up or like a flag you put up or a different wreath for each season. But it feels like you guys, like you love that. You're one of those parents that just seems like you really enjoy it and it's not a burden to you. It's like, I love this. I chose this. This is my path. So yeah, some of you guys, if you're not looking to have kids, I mean, you don't have to. Spirit's not going to make you, well, I guess that's one of those things where sometimes you don't really have it or it's a surprise. But I think that for a lot of you guys, maybe this could just be an active life where you're just so fulfilled. But what I'm really seeing is this kind of busyness and the fun activity and the invigoration with life. So let's get some of these cards. Spirit, can you tell us what is going to be happening in pile two's life? Okay, I flipped this deck upside down, but it was right side up. So let me flip it again. What's going to be happening in pile two's life in 3 years' time? So we got truth, psychic abilities, trust. So maybe you guys, I could definitely see, like I said, a sound bath. I can see that. So I could definitely see you guys being involved in kind of the esoteric metaphysical world in that way. And that has a lot of intersections with like the wellness community, yoga and all those things kind of intermix with psychic stuff. And so, yeah, you guys might be that person that even does psychic work yourselves or regularly sees a psychic, has a tarot reader or a person you consult and you talk to that, gives you like feedback. I always recommend Keen for that, but or you can get a private reading with me, but maybe you guys have that person you always go to that you always trust for like feedback and guidance. I think a lot of people who are successful, like, they consult astrologers and psychics and stuff like that. So maybe that's like, because I'm just getting a lot of you guys are going to be really busy. I don't know if you would be doing this work yourself. If you would be, I feel like you would be like doing well within it, and having a lot of clients to talk to and having a very stacked work schedule. But I feel like you're able to maintain it and you really enjoy it. So if you are doing the spiritual work, it just feels like it's going really, really good and you guys love it. Let's get some more cards For pile 2, we got financial health, boundaries. I feel like financially things are going pretty well for you guys, and we got protection. So maybe this is the energy of you guys becoming more empowered and setting boundaries and protection, because I feel like with the position you're in, the job you're working at, or whatever's going on in your life, it does feel like you'll need to be able to have those kind of uncomfortable conversations at times where you say like, you didn't do a good job working on my house, or like, you need to fix this, or can you help me with that, or like telling people no. You know, you're going to have to be able to do that once you're in this position where you do have this level of busyness. Like, you just don't have the schedule or a schedule where you can afford to be like, you know, I don't really have time, but let me squeeze it in. I'll just stay late at the office, or I'll just wake up super early on Saturday. Like, you just don't have the time. It's just, your schedule is very, like I said, stacked. It's very busy. It's very already accounted for, and there's not really a lot of room to work around. So I feel like you're going to have to create those boundaries, and you're going to have to really kind of lay down the law, so to speak. To lay down the law, so to speak. I feel like you guys will have a lot of people asking you for a lot, because you do have, you're known as being efficient, you're known as getting things done. So there's going to be a lot of people around you that kind of want your time and your attention, and you're going to have to just be comfortable with being uncomfortable in that moment where you know, it doesn't necessarily come easy telling someone no, or being like, I can't do that, but it's something that I feel like you guys will develop the ability to say that, so that you have more time for your interests. I see you guys really prioritizing that. And if you're single, I want to talk about that, because I know some of you guys are like, I definitely don't want to be having kids. And so if you are single in 3 years' time, I feel like it would be a situation where you might just really, like, you're loving your life. You live somewhere where you love it. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of activities. There's a lot of cool restaurants. There's a lot of cool bars. Maybe you have like a cool friend group and you just love seeing them and you can't wait to be around them, and you look forward to like Taco Tuesdays together, or to Martini Monday. I just made that up in my mind, but maybe someone could use that at a bar or something. But maybe you guys have like a routine of meeting up with your friends, and seeing everyone, and getting to, you know, like talk about your day and kind of recoup what had gone on. I feel like you guys just, you're really loving your life, and you are active, and you are really busy, but you're loving it. Busy in a good way, not busy in a like, I'm so stressed and I can't figure anything out and I'm like completely overwhelmed kind of way. Busy in like a, I love this, I feel great, everything's awesome kind of way. So yeah, I think if you're single, you're going to be out there mingling. We did get the Knight of Wands, so you could be dating some, you know, very attractive young singles who are charmers and very, you know, kind of sexy. So you definitely would have that vivid life if that's what you want. So there's kind of two energies coming through in this pile. So you can fit into either, depending on whether you're married or depending on whether you are single. Although I guess if you're married and you really want to hang out with the Knight of Wands, you could do that too. But anyway, let's get some astro dice for pile 2. So we got the 8th house, Sagittarius, and the nodes, which I kind of hate when the nodes come up during these, because I'm like, can you be specific, Spirit? But that can definitely talk about destiny, and they come up in a lot of my readings. It's so funny. So a lot of you guys have big destiny moments, I think, happening. But let's talk about Sag and the 8th house, which is Scorpio, Pluto. Sagittarius definitely talks about travel. It definitely talks about, could be going back to school. Some of you guys might be going to school, and this could be the energy of someone like at college who's going out and partying, and then working on the, you know, working at school, and then partying on the weekends or partying at night, work hard, play hard kind of vibe. Or someone in grad school doing that as well, and a lot on their plate, but they're doing a great job of it. So you guys could be in higher learning for sure. But Sagittarius also can talk about travel. I feel like Sagittarius is just very bold, very kind of extroverted, ready to experience the world, unafraid. happy to try new things, excited to try new things, excited to go new places and broaden their horizons and really experience all that life has to offer. To me, that's Sagittarius energy. And so I feel like that could be something you guys are doing. You might have the kind of vibe where you travel every summer, you are going to different places, you're traveling internationally, or you're just going on road trips with your little kids or whatever. But I feel like you guys will have that Sagittarius vibe of I'm loving life, I'm experiencing the world, I'm wild and free. That's kind of Sagittarius. Eighth house is Scorpio and Pluto. So with the eighth house, that can also talk about sexuality. So for you guys who are single, you might definitely have that going on. You might have very fulfilled sector of your life on that side of things. And eighth house is also about connection to others. It also can talk about a little bit about legal issues, the law. So, and Sagittarius can as well. So some of you guys might be lawyers. I could definitely see this being a lawyer vibe, but with the eighth house, that can, what was I going to say? I was going to say something about the eighth house. Oh yes, it's about connection to others. So again, I feel like your friendships really matter. You might have that partner that you can just rely on and that takes care of a lot of things and really helps you. And like, they're not a dead weight type of partner where you're just having to drag them along and they're not doing much. Like, you're allowed to have this. Obviously, you need kind of sometimes, I mean, some people can do it all on their own, and that's awesome. And I think I have so much respect for that. But, you know, parenting or whatever can be hard. And for some of you guys, you'll be linking up with people that can really help you. I'm seeing for the singles, of course, it could be like friends, stuff like that. And if you're married, you might, eighth house is a house of other people's money. So it might be that you are getting a lot of money from your spouse or your parents or someone helping you out financially. But honestly, it feels like things are good financially for you. So whatever's happening, it feels like it's thumbs up. Let's get some more astrodice since we got the node, and that just is kind of annoying. So we got Aquarius. Oh my God. What did we get? We got the node. I don't know if you guys saw it before I moved it, but it was at the node. So I guess Spirit is calling me out for saying that. Spirit doesn't like me talking back. So whatever, I won't complain about getting the nodes again, but we'll talk about the fifth house and Aquarius. Fifth house is a house of hobbies, interests, fun. It is ruled by Leo and the sun. So you guys, that definitely fits the vibe for you guys. I feel like you're going to be just having fun, enjoying things, bright energy. 11th house and Aquarius can talk about large groups of people, your acquaintances, your friends, and I feel like that's definitely going to be on point. But since they got the nodes again, I feel like I'm being scolded, so I'll just move on, I guess. I guess they didn't like that. I also want to mention to you guys really quick that the nodes, since they brought it out more than once, it can talk about destiny. So about a very special destiny happening for you, something really important in your life, something really incredible that you have tried to manifest coming true for you. So if you have a manifestation you've been thinking of, hoping for, working on, going after, I feel like you can take that as definite confirmation that that will be happening and coming true for you guys. So let me get some cards from this deck. What's happening for pile 2 in 3 years' time? That's interesting because we got rest and rejuvenation again, and that corresponds to the Four of Swords, which we talked about in the original. We got it in the original tarot. So for me, what I'm getting is you guys will be kind of having to actively rest. What I'm not getting from this pile is that this vibe that you're going to be constantly sleeping and like constantly laying around and just lazing around on the couch. I see you guys as being pretty active, and sometimes when that's what is going on and you're very health conscious or you're very conscientious about things, you make steps to actively rest. So you just might be health conscious in general, spiritual in general, and kind of living that almost like hippy dippy LA lifestyle where you're doing spirituality work, you are glowing up in that way, and really working on yourself on a deep level. And so you are busy, and yes, you have a lot going on, but you're able to really manage that with also making the time out to rest and sleep, and maybe go to a spa, or maybe get your, chakras realigned, or get Reiki healing and stuff like that to make you feel better, so that you can manage this busy schedule. Because I do feel like there is a spirituality component here with you. And so, yeah, it feels like you're in touch with your spirituality at this time for sure, with the temple path. And then we got financial constraints and community. But again, to me, I feel your financial health is in pretty good order. Community makes a lot of sense for you guys, and financial constraints did come out reversed. I feel like whatever you guys are doing is making you enough money to have the kind of life you want. Even if there is an aspect of you don't have quite as much as you would want, it feels like you have as much as you need. It feels like you have as much as it takes for you to live a kind of life that you really enjoy, and you're having a lot of fun with it. It doesn't feel to me constrained or like you're in a really bad place financially. To me, it feels that things are going well for you financially, and yeah, I feel maybe you do have some stressful situations when it comes to money. Maybe there are situations where you owe a little bit to this person. And sometimes it's almost like the more money you make, the more you have bills, or you have problems, or things pop up, because yeah, you're in kind of the big leagues, right? So sometimes even when someone makes a lot of money and they buy a $10 million house, now they have to pay the upkeep on the house. And sometimes that can be like $250,000 a month. So, even though people might be like, oh, well, you have a $10 million house, like everything's perfect for you. Sometimes there can be financial constraints with that. So maybe you are in the process of trying to manifest and trying to figure out how to earn more money at this time. But I'm not getting that you guys are really badly off financially, to be honest. Okay, let me get more cards for pile 2. What's going on in their life in 3 years' time? And I know the cards are flying. Find balance, healing, go outside, lost and found. Let's see what else. Nature signs. You might be spending a good amount of time in nature, and flourish. I love that, because that's really the vibe I'm getting for you guys. It feels like you have a lot of balance, and balance is the perfect word for it, where I feel like I've said in this reading, like, work hard, play hard. And also I feel like you're going out, being active, doing a lot, but you might make the time to rest. So it feels like you have a good mental grasp on like what you need to do, how to manage things, how to take care of things. It doesn't feel like you are thinking of things unrealistically, or having a bad view of like, I'm just going to sleep all the time, or I'm just going to work myself into the ground. It feels like you really master how to manage this really tight schedule, and you find a way to make it all work. You find a way to make everything kind of weave together and head in a really good direction. So yeah, I think ultimately you guys feel like you've mastered a lot by this time. 3 years from now, you figured out a routine when it comes to your health. You might have figured out like a diet that really works for you. And by diet, I just mean maybe there's things that can be tweaked. Like maybe you give up gluten and you're like, oh, I feel so much better. Or maybe you are vegan now, but you find adding a little bit of meat helps. Or maybe you are eating a lot of meat now and you find being vegan helps. So whatever works for you, but it might work for your body in different ways, and things you change. You're just like, this is perfect for me. I feel like your health is really on point, and you've done a lot of the healing work, so you can kind of enjoy and have fun and loosen up a little bit. You're not having to like be really hard on yourself about any of this. So let me get some cards from this deck. So we got Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. That's funny because we keep getting sleep vibes for you guys. So I guess you're just gonna be making sure you take the time out to sleep. I feel like there's a bit of a warning or a caution because I could see with your schedule, you maybe not having enough time to sleep, or maybe you are going to be having plenty of time to sleep. But I don't know, because to me, it feels like whatever you're up to, there's a sense of joy, there's a sense of excitement and activity in your life. So I'm just not seeing you guys sit at home and sleep 24/7. I'm seeing you guys really go out and do things and enjoying yourself and having fun with whatever this is. A lot of you guys might really enjoy your house. I'm seeing you guys keeping it very clean, organized. If you guys feel organized in every area of your life, like getting kind of Virgo perfectionist energy, like you're always like, okay, what can I improve here? What should I switch there? And you guys have just optimized a lot of things. Like you are really good at figuring out what needs to get done and doing it and organizing things and just getting everything into its right place in your life. So making the time out to see friends, making the time out to get work done, and making sure that every area of your life feels very fulfilled and feels really good. So yeah, I am seeing for some of you guys, maybe it could be like a modern house or a very clean looking type of house, not like super cluttered. That's what I'm seeing in my mind. First breath, beginner's mind, an empty well, time to replenish. So maybe this is talking about the need for you to get sleep. Maybe this is a call for you to get sleep. Maybe they're even calling for it now because sometimes they can give us messages for our current situation, but with them continuously bringing this up, maybe they are saying that you're the type of person who can burn yourself out. And I do see you finding balance with this in 3 years' time where you're not going to be burning the candle at both ends, and you're not, maybe you guys vacillate between like working really hard or not working at all, resting all the time. And Spirit like wants you to know that there can be a happy balance. There can be a happy medium. You can work really hard and then make sure you set the boundaries in place of like, I know what works for my schedule and I know I'm going to find time to rest and make myself feel good. Because if you're over giving to everything in your life, you're going to get burnt out and exhausted. And I think that takes a lot of time to kind of realize, like, let me plan this in advance. So let me make sure that I'm not going to just be working to such a level that I feel horrible, that I'm exhausted, that I feel bad. Because that's where I think you can run into a lot of trouble. So I feel like by 3 years' time, you've really gotten the grip on that. You've really mastered it. And you're able to have the kind of life you want with the kind of busyness, routine, and schedule you want and all the things ticked off that you want to do, but still making that time out to like, I love doing this, so I'm going to make time to do that, or I'm going to make sure I'm in bed by 8 p.m. and I'm actually going to go to sleep by 10. I'm not going to just be on my phone for hours scrolling. I'm going to make sure I really give myself that moment to rest. But I feel like, again, in 3 years' time, you guys have a very fun life. I feel like you're enjoying things, you're loving it, and I just love this routine. I love the vibe and the energy. It feels like it's so much fun. So whatever you guys are doing, I think you've worked through some of these issues by the time it comes around. So anyway, I really hope it resonates, pile 2. Let me know if it does in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your thoughts and make sure to give this reading a thumbs up if it resonated. Hit the like button and make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on if you want to find out as soon as I post. And if you guys like how I read tarot, then you should definitely check out my Patreon, link in my description for that. And that's where I post all my additional readings. I just posted a follow-up extended reading of what did they think of you. So it's great for a twin flame or an ex. And we go into more detail, get messages from their higher self over there that we couldn't fit on YouTube. And then I also had posted what is a gossip about you just a few days before that. And I'm going to either already have posted or going to post what are your dreams trying to tell you. So that's going to be going up very shortly, possibly already up, but there's a ton of content over there, over 25 videos for you guys to watch. So definitely check it out, and more content going up all the time. So anyway, check that out, link in my description for my Patreon. And if you want a one-on-one reading with me where I pull tarot exclusively for you, focus on your situation, you can also get that at the link in my description for a one-on-one session with me, and that's at briarrosetarot.com. So, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon in the next reading. So, take care of yourselves, and I will see you then. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile three. So for your tarot, you guys got the Queen of Wands, the Empress, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, the Hermit, Five of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. So pile three, I don't know what you guys have going on, but in 3 years' time, we got every single Queen card. We got the Empress. It seems like you guys are headed for a lot of success. And I don't know what is going to be transforming in each of your lives, but I feel in 3 years' time, you guys are going to be highly empowered and you guys are going to really have the run of things. Like I'm hearing, I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. So it feels like in 3 years' time, whatever you're working on is going to give you guys a lot of power, the ability to say no, the ability to pick and choose what you do, that you're not going to have to do anything unless you really want to. And I feel like that's the defining thing that's going to be going on with you guys is you guys are running something or you're in control of something. We got the Queen of Wands leading off the reading, and she is definitely that energy of someone who is not going to be just doing things because someone else wants her to do it or doing things because she feels like she has to. And I'm sorry if my voice is a little hoarse for some reason today, but the Queen of Wands is someone who does things because she wants to do them. And I feel like that's you guys, where you have all this power. It feels like you've amassed, I don't know, even an empire for some of you guys. Like, I feel like if you picked this pile, you guys must be my hustlers. Maybe you're my entrepreneurs. Maybe you guys are working on some kind of project that's going to blow up. But there is a strong energy that you are kind of calling the shots by this point. And it feels like some of you guys might have been through a difficult period where you didn't have as much control, because we got the Five of Pentacles. So that can talk about going through a period of financial hardship, going through a period of a lot of difficulty, suffering. And maybe that was your past energy. Maybe you were going through a time when it just felt like you were having to struggle and you were having to get through things and things didn't come easily and you were feeling a little lost. But by the time 3 years comes around, that's going to switch and change into so much abundance. I was literally in shock as I pulled this row, and then to have it end on the Queen of Cups, I'm like, oh my God, what does this person have going on? Like, I don't know, can I invest in them? Can I get in on this? Like, this is crazy. There's so much positivity here and forward momentum that I feel like you guys are bringing in. What's interesting is we also got the Hermit. So again, it's like you're in this energy where you're doing what you want for you. Some of you guys might be single in 3 years' time, and I know not everyone wants to hear that. Of course, it depends on each person, your goals. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. But I feel like whatever relationship status you have, you're going to have a measure of control in it. You're going to call the shots to a certain extent. It's not going to be one of those relationships where you have to do what the other person wants, have to go along with them, have to kind of sacrifice yourself for their needs. It's going to be a relationship where you're very empowered. You're able to say what you want, how you feel. And I see some of you guys living a lifestyle where you might be moving a lot or traveling a lot, going to places you really enjoy, like almost like you might get bored somewhere and you're just like, I'm moving, I'm leaving. So I feel like you guys are just coming into this season of true empowerment and not letting anyone tell you what to do, not letting anyone call the shots. Like, you guys are running your show. You guys are doing what you want to do. And also with the Six of Wands, there could be a measure of like public acclaim coming in. So it might be that you're just posting a lot on Instagram and all your friends are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're on another trip, or you bought that, or wow, you have a beautiful like wardrobe or something. You have a beautiful collection of shoes or bags or whatever. Or it might be that you do have some kind of specific public platform, like a TikTok or an Instagram, maybe a YouTube, maybe what are other platforms? Like any social media, Twitter, I guess, anything where people follow you because maybe they get advice for you, because I am seeing you guys being kind of leaders. Like, I feel like people kind of look up to you in some way. Even if you're not giving straight advice of like business, maybe you give advice of lifestyle advice. Maybe you tell people like the best restaurants to go to, or the best kind of caviar to buy, or I don't know, something high end, but it feels like people look up to you. It feels like people really like respect you, think you're awesome, want to learn from you, are very impressed with you, and all of that. So yeah, I feel like I'm just hearing that the hard work is going to be worth it, because that Five of Pentacles, I asked Spirit to clarify when that came out, because it's a little different from the other cards, and we got Six of Wands next. So I do feel like it's saying that this period is kind of ending. Six of Wands is such a positive celebration card. Your life might be full of celebrations. You might be going to party, like, you know, having a very active social life. It feels like, again, you do what you want. So if you want to do it, you're going to do it. If you don't, you're going to say no. And it's like, I'm hearing can't tell me nothing, or something like that. No one can tell me anything. And so you're just very, honestly, I feel like you guys feel really fulfilled. Like, I feel like you are really happy at this stage in your life. A lot of people might look to you at this stage in your life and kind of think your life is going perfect, just because I feel like from the outside looking in, and accurately from like the inside, you are feeling like everything's on point and everything is figured out, and you have this success, this power. I just heard we made it through the wilderness. Somehow we made it through. I think that's a Madonna line. But yeah, it's like, if you're going through a hard time now, I guess this is your message to keep going, because it is going to pay off so amazingly. I'm being told to spin the Astro dice, so that's what I'm going to do. So we got Aries, Jupiter, and the third house. So I was thinking, because the only one we were missing was the Queen of Swords, and I feel there is a strong aspect of communication here. You guys being on point communicators in this group, like, I feel like you guys are just good with your words, and that comes in handy in so many different industries and positions. Whether you are just working at a company, or whether you do have some kind of public platform and you're writing like long Instagram posts, or making TikTok videos, or YouTube videos, or whatever, I think being a good communicator is such a key critical skill. And I feel like your guides are acknowledging that the communication is going really well for you. Like, you guys are well spoken. You make a beautiful impression on people at this time in your life. I'm seeing you guys being very well dressed at this point, which a lot of the Queen cards and the Empress card can talk about that. I feel like you guys just have fashion on point. You look really good. If you know, are into it, you might have your nails done, your hair done, all of that. But like, I just feel like you're looking very beautiful and well taken care of. Also, third house can talk about short-term close travel. So again, I'm seeing some aspect of like little trips, like almost like, not necessarily you're taking huge trips every few months, going to like climb Mount Everest, and it's some big thing that requires a lot of planning, but maybe you're like, oh, I'm doing a weekend here, and then I'm doing a week there, and then we're darting over here for like this person's party. Like, I feel like there's a lot of travel. There's a lot of just going where you want, doing whatever you want to at this stage in your life. Then we got Aries, and Aries echoes the energy of the Hermit a little bit, because you know, Aries is the first house, and it's all about yourself. It's all about that relationship you have with yourself, your identity, your life purpose, your soul as an individual, not linked up with anyone or anything like that. And I do see that you guys are at least very focused on yourself. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. That's why the sun is exalted in Aries. It's because really our mission is supposed to be focused on ourselves. And that's not to say you can't link up with other people and have meaningful relationships. Of course not. But at the end of the day, it's ourselves that we have to look in the mirror and make sure we're serving our best interests. And we want to connect with others, of course, but we have to make sure we are really rooting for ourselves and really getting in touch with what we want, so we can be the best version of ourselves for others within our relationships. And I do see you guys are very empowered in that sense. So it feels like you're not going to really tolerate the BS. If someone comes to you and they're not really acting right in the relationship, you're just not the type of person who's going to sacrifice, or who's going to be like, oh, it's fine. No, you didn't call me for 3 weeks, but no, like, it's totally cool. That's just not your energy right now. You guys are very empowered, like I said, and you might be a little picky at this point, which sometimes happens when you're at this level. And we got the Queen of Wands, the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. I mean, 10 of Pentacles, you guys probably might not want to date the average person because they might not be on your level, so to speak, not to sound like a snob or anything, but I just feel like you guys are going to have high standards. So, you know, there's an aspect here of forging your own path, forging your own destiny, pushing forward towards what you want, and not really, to a certain extent also, and I was thinking this with the Five of Pentacles as well, because that's one of the kind of other meanings of this card, but sometimes it can talk about not being kind of accepted by the mainstream of society, because it's like showing people like exiled kind of outside of church. So it can show that, which was like the social structure of most of, you know, Europe, at least at that time when these cards were made. So for you guys, it might be that you don't have like the traditional life that I feel like maybe women and men can be expected to live, where, you know, you're married by like 25 and you have kids by 30, and nothing's wrong with that if that's your timeline and things work out for you. But sometimes if you're a little outside that, it can feel like, oh, I'm really doing my own thing and like I'm kind of alone in this. But I feel like you're very empowered by this energy, and you're like, judge away, I love my life. So it's not to say you guys are definitely going to be single, but I am getting that vibe for some of you guys in this pile where you're just independent. And even, like I said, even if you're in a relationship, maybe you're like, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want to have kids. Or maybe you have a partner, but it's somehow unconventional in some way, or you're older than your partner, or something that people might, I don't know, be judgmental of, or your partner is older than you. I feel like a lot of you guys might kind of call the shots in this relationship a little bit. But maybe there's something a little outside the realm of like what everyone thinks is the norm, which is such a limited, like I feel like the norm just applies to so few people nowadays, right? Like it's such a limiting kind of mindset, but I feel like there's something out about this that might put you a little outside of that, which I don't think you guys mind. Then we have Jupiter, and that's so much wealth and abundance, expansion. It also can relate to the 9th house of travel. So again, this travel energy coming through over and over and over through this reading. But with the Jupiter, what's coming to mind is the 10 of Pentacles. So this abundant energy where you have a lot of money at your disposal. You have a lot of money that you're making. The money seems to be going really well. It seems to be pouring in. And whatever you're doing seems to be this huge success. So I feel like, yeah, it's going financially, things are really going great for you guys. And it does feel like it's a bit of a relief to you. Maybe some of you guys have had financial situations that were touch and go, or you were struggling to kind of make ends meet. And I do feel like this is a message that things are going to be a lot better for you. So I also want to pull from this deck. So let me grab this. Okay, so Spirit, what is going to be going on in pile 3's life in 3 years' time? What is going to be going on in pile 3's life in 3 years' time? Family, okay. Passion, trust. So I love that you guys got passion, and that is the Queen of Wands. So I think you're going to be living a life that you're very passionate about. We also got family, which maybe some of you guys are going to have a big family or going to have kids. So again, there's not necessarily, doesn't mean you're going to be single at this time. It might be something like you even have an unconventional family, like you decide to just go get pregnant on your own, you know, and you go to like a bank and get a donation and get pregnant that way. And like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. And it's just society's judgment that makes things seem weird. Or maybe you choose to be a single mom, or maybe you are in a relationship and have a family, but you have that like balance and understanding of like, I'm not going to sacrifice myself just to be like some 1950s housewife, or some idea you have of what it means to be in a family and putting everyone else in front of you. Like, I'm still gonna have my interests. I'm still gonna have my spa weekend with my girlfriends. I'm still gonna be hustling and ambitious. So again, it doesn't mean you guys can't be in a relationship, can't be in a family. I'm just getting the overall vibes. But if you guys do want kids, that might be something you're thinking about stepping forward into. And again, I am seeing this unconventional vibe for some of you. So maybe it's like, I do want to go get that donation from a bank, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to let someone talk me out of it or make me feel weird. That's what I want. So I'm going to do it. But with passion, I see, if you guys are single, that you are going to have a lot of exciting opportunities to be dating. I feel like you're just going to have a lot of passion in your life in general, whether it's getting to eat like really delicious food and going out to a restaurant and having it just be like the most amazing meal because you can afford to go to like the best restaurant in town. You can afford to travel and go to like some random restaurant in another country that supposedly has like the best certain type of pasta, and you can travel to afford to like go to those places, you know? So I feel like there's just this excitement with like, I love my life. And honestly, I feel like you guys are active, you're invested in what you do. It feels like you're having fun, you're enjoying yourself, whatever you're doing for work. I feel like you love it. You feel very connected to it emotionally. You don't feel like, oh God, I have to go to work today and it's so boring. It feels like you enjoy whatever this is, and it really fuels you. It gives you guys energy. It makes you feel excited when you wake up in the morning. So there is also this message of trust. Like, I feel like you guys really need to put your trust and faith in whatever's happening in your life now. If you're in this Five of Pentacles energy right now and just things are kind of struggling to come together or to make ends meet or to have all your bills paid at the end of the month, do not worry, because this is going to pay off. Things are going to work out for you guys. So let me get some more cards. What's going to be going on in pile three's life in 3 years' time, Spirit? Empowerment. Yes, that is so the energy for you guys. You're so empowered. Like, I think that probably sums it all up. You just feel like you are living your best life. You are choosing to do the things you want to do. I'm seeing a lot of you guys have a really beautiful apartment or living situation that I feel like you love. Like, it's quiet. You get to decorate it how you want. And it just feels like you're coming into your own. Like, you are just on another level, kind of like you figured this life out. You know, you figured things out, and obviously life never becomes like fully perfect where you're just, well, I mean, of course, sometimes it might feel pretty close to perfect, but of course, everyone is going to have their own problems or whatever. But I feel like you guys have really figured out like what to do more so than the average person. Like, you don't feel like you're super stressed about things. You feel like you just have this great level of success and power and knowledge in your life, and maybe that's why people look up to you. Let me get more cards. What's happening in pile three's life? Boundaries, psychic abilities. So those might be activated. Maybe your psychic abilities are really on point right now. We did get the Queen of Cups. I feel like what's coming to my mind with that is that you guys just really trust yourself. Like, when something happens, you're not going to second guess it. You're not going to be in your head thinking like, I don't know, like I get a bad vibe about this person, but I don't want to be harsh. You're not going to be kind of gaslighting yourself and just trying to make yourself like, you know, second guessing yourself. You're not going to be doing any of that. You're going to be trusting your first judgment, which I think is what comes when you get empowered. You start really like listening to your inner voice. So I feel like you guys are going to do that. You're going to be making decisions really quick. I'm seeing people like bring to you like a document to sign or something that you're supposed to choose between, and you're just like 2 seconds to decide, I'm going with this, because you learn to trust yourself and follow your heart. And I think that's what happens when you become empowered. Then we have boundaries. So yeah, I think you guys have, by this time in 3 years time, if you're a bit of a people pleaser, you are moving out of that energy and stepping into this empowered Queen of Wands, where you don't mind telling someone off. You don't mind setting boundaries. Queen of Pentacles as well, where you're just like, you know what? you really like, you need to be doing it this way, or this is not acceptable. Like, I feel like you guys have really mastered the art of kind of advocating for yourself, knowing what you want and stepping towards that. So let's get cards from this deck. What is happening for pile 3 in 3 years' time? Woman holding a heart. Man holding a coin. But that was reversed. Indecision. Let's see what else. Hostilities. And let's get one more. Okay, let's get one more that's not an angel. One more that's not an angel. Oh, okay, patience. So, perfect. I think that there may be some hostilities and jealousy directed towards you guys, because at this point you do have so much success and you guys are doing really well. And I think that just attracts kind of haters and people who might not be so happy in their life and see how well you're doing, and they don't really like that. So that is an energy that might be around you, but I feel like your boundaries help protect you. With woman holding a heart, I feel like you guys have this ability to really focus on your romantic life at this time in your life, because things are really good financially, because things are good for you career-wise, because you feel really empowered. It's like you can move on to that next part of like filling in the blank and figuring out who you want to be with. But it was interesting that man holding a coin was reversed. So again, I feel like there's this energy of maybe the man in this situation doesn't make as much money, or if he does, you just don't have to rely on him for money. You just are like, oh, I got my own cash. So not to say that like you might not have, you know, he might still kind of be a gentleman and pay for dates and stuff, but maybe you're just not really, it doesn't really like hang over your head in the relationship at all. Like, you just know that at any time you can do what you want for you, and there's never this pressure of like, oh, he's paying my bills, I gotta stay in this relationship, or I gotta keep this thing going, or I can't file for divorce. Like, I feel like you just feel very empowered, like you truly are calling your own shots, making your own choices and all of that. And I do feel like with patience, again, there's a message just to hold on and wait for what is going to come, and don't be stressing out about like, oh my God, it's not happening, because it is. But I feel like it's happening with God's time, spiritual timing, not human timing. And God's time is always the best timing. And that's when things will happen so amazingly. And you guys did get 2 angel cards, so you are very protected. And we got Uriel and Chamuel, so that's the heart chakra, and then the crown chakra. So again, very spiritually on point and probably pretty psychic and trusting your intuition. Let's figure out what's happening in their lifestyle in 3 years' time. What's happening in their lifestyle in 3 years' time? Protection, music. Wait for winter, believe in magic. What's happening in their lifestyle in 3 years' time? New beginnings and motivation. So I do feel like if you guys want a baby, you could definitely have it in 3 years' time, because that has come through a couple different times and there's a little baby in that card. But I also feel like, again, there's just the message that for some of you guys, maybe it's not in that like super traditional structure. Maybe it's not like, I'm gonna have the white picket fence and the golden retriever and like this marriage. Maybe it's like you adopt, or you, you know, like I said, go to a bank and get a donation and then get pregnant on your own, you know. But I feel like there is this energy of, if you want it, you can have whatever you want. And you guys have realized it by this point, and you have a really fun lifestyle by this point. You guys probably are going to parties, hanging out with friends, dancing to music, maybe going to concerts, and really getting to choose like whatever it is you want, you get to have it. I feel like there's a message here to keep you motivated and to know that, like, if this is not your reality now and you're looking at it and you're like, there's no way this is going to happen, like, no chance, I'm just not in this energy right now, just be patient and wait, because spirit has this in mind for you. And you need to believe in magic. You need to, first of all, believe it's possible. You need to give yourself that permission of, like, maybe that could be me. Maybe I don't think of myself as financially successful. Maybe I think of myself as financially broke, and maybe I need to change that. Maybe I think of myself as, like, I always get treated bad in relationships, and maybe I need to change that so I can be empowered. Maybe I think of myself as, like, oh, I never do well, I always get fired, and maybe I need to change that. So I feel like you need to start believing that this is possible. And for those of you guys who already do believe, you are going to get it, and it's going to speed up the timeline. This is going to be different people hit this timeline differently because it is a general reading, but this is the timeline you're on sooner or later. And you know, probably for most of you within that 3 years, but for some of you guys, you might be entering this timeline in a couple months, right? And for some of you others, maybe it's a little over 3 years. Maybe it's a little further off because you're pushing it because you refuse to give yourself that self-worth and that belief. But I feel like you guys have this incredible ability to do whatever you want in this pile. You guys are, I mean, could you get any better than the thread of tarot you got at the beginning of the, I'm just like, I was like open mouth shocked when I pulled all those cards one after the other. I was like, oh, so this is going to be one of those piles that just, I don't even know how to put into words how positive it is. So you guys have this unlimited capacity inside of you to manifest these things and whatever you want. And spirit is like, you need to believe, you need to have patience, and you need to trust, because it is going to happen and it has the potential to happen. So let me get some final cards from this deck to finish off the reading. What's happening in pile three's life in 3 years' time? So we got perfect storm, the courage to step into life, groupthink, mindful groupthink. Oh my God, this pregnancy theme keeps coming through. Maybe some of you guys are going to be pregnant in 3 years' time, if that's what you want. Stars in the sky, limitless possibility. I love that for you guys. And let's get one final card. Sky Dancers, surrender. Actually, I'm going to take one more. I just feel spirit telling me to get one more. Magician's sword, confidence in your magic. Yes, they want you to know that you can make anything happen. And that is based on the Ace of Swords. And, you know, that's such a message of success and being able to cut through anything and make anything happen. And that's what you guys have, is this ability to make whatever you want happen. Limitless possibility. And I think you know that. We also got, I didn't even see that come out, Dragon Sword, protecting the future. So that is another message of wealth and abundance. And also, I think, focusing on the future, not staying rooted down into where you are now, although it is good to live in the moment and understand that the moment is perfect even when it doesn't seem perfect or there's stressful things happening, that technically, as far as like the universe is concerned, we're perfectly exactly where we should be, and living in the moment, living in that state of bliss now will get us there faster. But I feel like you just have this powerhouse energy inside of you, whether you've chosen to unleash it. Like, I'm seeing this lightning from this card just like shoot out of someone's palm, and just like you have this incredible magic inside of you. You can make your dreams happen. You can make this magic incredible thing you want take place. And I do feel in 3 years' time as well, there is this connection to friends with mindful groupthink. I keep seeing you guys having an active social life, going around doing a lot of fun things, exploring different places, and just having a really good time. Like, I feel like you're just going to be living your best life. But I feel like a lot of this is about your faith in yourself, and you guys doing either affirmations or just coming into an energy where you're aligned with, like, I have all this already. I am powerful. I know I can do it. I know I'm strong, whatever this is. And for those of you guys who are trying to get pregnant, I definitely see that as an option as well. We got so many pregnancy cards. So again, if you're wanting to start a family, then I feel like you definitely will be able to. So I feel like you guys are just so empowered. I love this pile. You guys have such a beautiful energy, and I can't wait to see all your dreams come true, pile 3. So I really hope it resonated, guys. Let me know if it did in the comments, and make sure to give this reading a thumbs up if it did resonate. Hit the like button, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you find out as soon as I post. And if you like how I read tarot, then check out my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted an extended version of How Do They Think of You? So that is a follow-up to that, and we get into a lot more detail. We get messages from their higher self and get just a lot more info from them. So check that out. I just posted it at Patreon. I also posted What is the Gossip About You just a few days before, and I'm going to either have already posted or going to post what are your dreams trying to tell you? So that is a great one to look out for. New stuff goes up on Patreon all the time, so definitely join us over there. And then if you guys want a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and we can get you in for a private tarot session just exclusively focused on you and your energy and your questions. So check that out, briarrosetarot.com. The links for all of those are in my description for my Patreon and for my website. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So I will see you guys then. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Hey, pile 4, so for your tarot, you guys got the 6 of Pentacles, the Moon, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, the 9 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and the Empress. So the first thing that's coming up is that you guys are going to be developing your psychic abilities within the next 3 years. So by the time 3 years elapses, I feel like you guys are going to be very on point with your spiritual abilities, maybe even your psychic or mediumship abilities. If you guys are working on learning tarot right now, or learning astrology, or learning how to meditate, learning how to interpret your dreams, I feel like by the time 3 years rolls around, you're going to be so in touch with the other side. You're going to be getting daily visions. You're going to be really able to read and learn tarot and all those things. You're going to know your astrology chart probably by heart, all your placements. So that is going to be something that I feel like does majorly make up a part of your life by the time 3 years rolls around. You guys are going to definitely be maybe like the spiritual one in your friend group, you know, the friend that knows everyone's astrology and can give people channel messages or pull cards for people. That's definitely going to be very strong in your life in 3 years time. A lot of you guys, I see you going through a little bit of a difficult period right now or within the next 3 years that is going to be ending by 3 years time. And I feel like you guys are coming out of it in 3 years time. At least it might be earlier, but the energy in 3 years time is kind of looking towards the future and being really excited about either a new business or some kind of new endeavor that you guys have in mind. And I am thinking for a lot of you, it would be a new business. It could also be a move as well. So if you're living somewhere in 3 years time or you move somewhere, you might not stay there. Like by 3 years, I feel like you guys are ready for something new. You're kind of on to the next for whatever you're doing right now. Maybe it requires a lot of hard work, or maybe there's a period where you're having to do something that maybe isn't even your favorite. Like maybe you guys are entering into grad school, and obviously grad school is really hard, but you need to do it to become a lawyer or a doctor or whatever it is. So you got to do it. You don't really have a choice. But by the time 3 years rolls around, I feel that this energy either is ending or has ended, and you guys are now focused on the future. You guys are now focused on what you want to do, and you're in a really empowered energy. So you push through some of the difficulty, and now you're starting something fresh. We got the Ace of Wands. So maybe you were in a stagnant energy for a while. Maybe some of you guys right now might live a life where maybe you don't even have that much going on, or like you're stuck at home, or you are not going out as much. And I feel like by the time 3 years rolls around, there's a lot more energy in your life. There's a lot more get up and go kind of vibes. Like you're ready to start something fresh. You're choosing between things. You have something that honestly excites you. So there is an energy of waking up in the morning excited to go for work. It's not just like, oh, I have to put in my 8 hours. Like I can't wait to leave. I'm going to take an extra long lunch break and hope they don't notice. It's not like that slacking off energy. It's like you come in with like, I can't wait to go to work. I'm so excited. I can't wait to finish this. I love this project. I'm going to stay late to work on it just for fun, just because I have so much passion for it. So some of you guys might be becoming entrepreneurs or starting new businesses in 3 years time. With the Six of Pentacles, that's an interesting card that can go both ways, and you guys might be having a lot of money to give to others. So you guys might be at a point where like you've worked through all the difficulty, you've worked through the energy of like lack or having to pay your dues, and now you're in that position of power. Because I am getting a vibe almost like graduating. Some of you guys might be literally graduating in this pile, because I am seeing a lot of images like that. And I'm seeing an image of like freshman year versus senior year. So maybe you guys are in freshman year energy now, and then it'll be like senior year. Where, you know how like when you're a freshman, you got to pay your dues, you've got to like hustle around the school and sign up for extracurriculars, and you know, you don't get to like have first pick for like, maybe, you know, if you're, I wasn't on any sports teams in high school, but maybe if you're like choosing between the team jerseys or something. I mean, I don't know. You like the freshman isn't going to get to have a choice. The freshman, all they can hope for is like, I really hope I get on junior varsity. Whereas all the seniors know they're going to make varsity. They know they get that respect, and they get to have their pick of like everything, you know? And you can kind of tell when you're in high school, like the seniors all walk around like, please, I'm not worrying about anything. Whereas the freshmen are all nervous, you know? And so I feel like you guys, by this time, 3 years from now, you have that senior energy where you're like, everything's going great for me. I'm not worried. I figured this out. I got through this period. I have worked on myself. I've done everything I need to do. And now I get to kind of chill, coast, and relax. And everything just feels really good. It feels like you guys have so much positivity here, and you're excited about your life. You're excited for whatever this new fresh start is. Like, I feel like you just can't wait. There's so much enthusiasm coming through. There's so much excitement. There's so much happiness about whatever this is. With the Ace of Wands coming out over the Empress, there's a lot of potential for success, wealth, and abundance in this. But with that Ace of Wands, usually that's going to be that fresh, bold, new, brand new energy floating into your life. So I feel like whatever this is, you guys are getting after it. It might be a side hustle. It might be you're opening a business. And again, with the Two of Pentacles, that can also be an energy of making a choice. So deciding. So you might be having to make a lot of decisions, but I feel like you like that. Like maybe people are coming to ask you to make a choice, but you like that authority that you have. You like that position. Another interpretation of the Six of Pentacles can also be that someone is giving you money. So it could be that maybe some of you guys, you get money from a parent, or you have a trust fund, or you get money from a romantic partner that wants to give you some cash. But I feel like there's an energy right now with some of you guys, or in this next 3 years, I don't know, the timeline will be different for everyone, where you're kind of figuring things out. And maybe you do feel a little lost, or you feel a little stuck, or you're like, oh, I just can't believe I'm in this energy. I can't wait to fast forward. And there is a message of kind of hope and trust and relaxing and knowing that it is going to work out, because it is. I feel like you guys are going to end up here with this Empress. So not to worry if right now you're in this Nine of Swords and you're a little stressed. It is going to end up with you being a little empowered and having your choice of things. I just feel like you have to kind of put in the work to get there. But I feel like once you do, you're like, wow, this is awesome. I learned so much. I got so much done. I figured things out. I grew so much, and you're going to look back and be really happy at the power and the status that the work you put in gives you. So let me get some more cards for pile 4. So we got passion. Let's see what else we get. We got passion and fertility. Forgiveness. Okay, so fertility is a great card for the energy I'm picking up on for you guys, because I feel that's a really great description of how you guys are. It's kind of like you're pregnant for some of this, not like literally pregnant, although that could be the case for some of you guys, but more like in that energy of like a pregnant lady that is ready to give birth, and she's ready to bring something out into the world, but like the baby's not ready. Like maybe she's 7 months pregnant and she's kind of like, okay, I am totally done being pregnant. I just want to be back to normal. I just want to get this baby out. Like I am basically done. But of course the baby has to like take its time and make sure it's fully grown and everything inside her. So I feel like a lot of you guys, there's an energy here where you're maybe right now or within this next 3 years, you're waiting for something to come out. You're waiting for something to end. You're eager for something to end. You do feel a little stuck or a little stagnant, or kind of like you're in a waiting room and you're waiting for that doctor to open the door and be like, come on in. Okay, it's your time. And you're having to have that patience because right now is not where you're going to end up. There could also be, like we got 2 cards about forgiveness and reconciliation. There could also be a heartbreak you guys are dealing with, and maybe this person might come back to you or something you have to deal with. I almost feel like some of this could also be you doing shadow work on yourself. So maybe you are working through your own issues. You are dealing with your own ideas of lack or ideas of like dysfunctional things that we pick up over the course of our lifetime. And you guys are kind of figuring that out and doing a lot of self-growth over the next 3 years. So by the time 3 years rolls around, you've done this work and you're able to really come in this empowered energy. But I do feel like you guys will be in an energy where you're waiting and eager for something to end, and maybe it's not ending right away, but when it does end, you realize that it happened for a reason, and you realize that you got a lot of answers out of it, and that you got the growth you needed to get. Let me get some astro dice for pile 4. So we got the 11th house, we got Venus, and we got Cancer, which relates to the 4th house and the moon. So we got 2 moon energies coming through. So maybe some of you guys are Cancers. So we have Cancer energy, Venus, so Taurus and Libra, and then Aquarius. So with the 4th house of home, it could be that some of you guys, I'm getting the vibe, some of you guys are living at home right now. And maybe that's where we got the 6 of Pentacles. Maybe your parents are paying for certain things, like you don't have to pay them back for rent, or you don't have to pay for certain bills, like, you know, pay electricity bills or whatever. For some of you guys, and maybe you are feeling a little stuck. Maybe right now you're like, I hate this life, I hate this situation, I hate where I live, or you're in school and you just don't feel really empowered because, you know, when you're in school, you're like an adult, but you're still, like if you're at college or whatever, you still have to fit all these rules, you still have to act a certain way in the dorms. It's kind of like half adulthood, you know, you don't have that full power to like buy what you want, go where you want, live wherever you want. You still have to fit to these certain like rules and strictures. And so I feel that by the time 3 years rolls around, you're going to be really into your power. You're really going to be like, okay, that's why I had to go through that. I was being toughened up a little, or I was learning, I was growing. And I feel like the world is going to kind of open up to you. Like you're going to realize that some of the boundaries that you've been put under right now really are kind of limited and stupid, and maybe they don't really matter in the scheme of things. So if you have like a school where you're only allowed to dress a certain way, or you have to act with certain rules, you're going to realize when you go out into the wide world that like those things don't really matter, and you get to pick exactly what you want. And then I feel like that's when the fun starts, and you can really tune into what you really love and what you really enjoy with that Venus energy. So there's kind of a process of self-discovery coming through. Like, okay, what do I want? Not what can I do in this world, or not what do other people want from me, but what do I want? I'm hearing that line from The Notebook where he's just like, what do you want, Allie? What do you want? Like, I feel like that's your guides or someone talking to you, and just they want you to realize your own power. They want you to step into your own strength. And by the time, not 11 years, that would be a long time, but 3 years rolls around, you guys are going to really have figured that out. And maybe with the 11th house of friends and acquaintances, hopes and dreams as well. 11th house of friends, though, could be also sticking to other people's judgments of things. Maybe people have this idea that you have to act a certain way, or your friends are in a very rigid, limited idea of how you should behave. Maybe they think that you need to be acting a certain way, or you're like not cool, or you're not accepted, and you're just going to be really coming into your own and moving outside of that. But again, I feel like the theme here is empowerment, and you guys really discovering your identity within this next 3-year period, really figuring out exactly what you want and not tolerating anything else that is holding you back. So there's a lot of self-growth happening. And by the time 3 years rolls around, I feel like you're on the other end of it and you're like, I'm so glad I did all that shadow work. I know for me, I look back to when I started my shadow work and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. But in the middle of the process, it was hard. It obviously, wasn't necessarily fun all the time. But I feel like when you come out on the other end, you're like so grateful to yourself that you put in the work. And again, that's where we get the energy of like seniors, like throwing their caps in the air and they're so glad they put in the work at college. And they look back fondly too on that time and they're like, wow, I learned so much and it was so amazing, because you can't get to the destination without going through the journey. So we got the 11th house, like I said, of hopes and fears too. So hopes and wishes. So manifestations coming through, those might be happening for you. Those can be random wishes and dreams that you have. And then Venus, like I said, I feel like for you, it's about discovering what you really love, discovering what really makes your heart sing. And for some of you guys, this could be relationships. I'm seeing some of you guys date around or have a serious relationship, but it might not. Honestly, for some of you guys, you might break up is what I'm just getting intuitively. But I feel like there's a lot of growth happening. So you might have the chance to get back together when both of you guys have done some shadow work on each other or on yourself, each of you on yourself. And then you're ready to like meet back up again. So let me pull from this deck what's going to be happening in pile 4's life in 3 years' time, Spirit. Wow, cornucopia and indecision. I definitely think you guys have some kind of decision to make by that point. I keep seeing that. Cornucopia, indecision, community, envy, strategy. Interesting. So I definitely feel like by the time 3 years rolls around, I'm seeing you guys having to strategize and really make a choice about something. I do feel like some of you guys are going to be either graduating or moving within this time, or that's some issue that comes up by 3 years time where you have to pick like, okay, I'm going to move here, or I'm going to go there, or I'm going to do this. So there's an energy of really having to make up your mind and having to weigh options and having to like take care of almost like paperwork with that and like make up your choices. I feel like a lot of you guys in 3 years time, you are going to be having a good community. You're going to be having a lot of friends around you and stuff, but maybe there's a choice to even move away from that. But honestly, your life feels like it's going well. I feel like you guys might be plugged into a job in like a corporate setting, or you might have a job where, like I said, you just like the 9 to 5, like you like going into the office. You like just doing all the stuff you need to do, whatever it is. If you're an accountant, you like going over people's taxes. If you're a lawyer, you like reading the legal briefs. You're just enjoying yourself, and there is an intellectual component here, because I almost feel like for a while you were kind of aimless and you were a little bit stuck energy. So sometimes we can feel stuck even when we're not, like we're in school, we're moving ahead with it, but we feel totally stuck. We feel like nothing's changed. We've been in school for 3 years and it just feels like we're not going anywhere because we can't really see the trajectory. But something kind of finally moves forward, and then you guys are able to reap the rewards and have all this kind of power. We did get cornucopia, so it can show that there is going to be a lot of financial success coming in. So yeah, and I feel like you guys are doing some shadow work with that envy card. What's coming up is maybe, maybe some of you guys have even felt envy towards others, and maybe something to think about is, if you do feel envy, why is that? And not beating yourself up about it, but maybe thinking, well, if I'm envious, why am I envious? Why do I have a negative reaction to this? Why am I triggered by it? And if the answer is because you want that for yourself, then perfect, you can go get that for yourself, and realizing that you are empowered to do whatever you want. So you don't even need to be envious because you have that option. It's like someone glaring at someone in a boutique and like staring them down and being so angry and getting so mad because they bought a certain blouse. Like maybe they bought like a red sweater is what I'm seeing. And they're just like raging about it, and they don't realize that that blouse is literally, there's like 10 of them right on the other rack, and it's in their size, it would fit them perfect, and they could literally just pick it up and grab it and go over to the register, but they're going to be so enraged and be like, I can't believe she took that red blouse. Like, that's how jealousy is, because we all have these amazing options to get whatever we want in this life. So maybe for some of you guys, it's doing the shadow work of like, if I'm not happy in my current iteration, whatever, however my life is right now, what can I do to change it? How can I step into empowerment? How can I get what I want? And sometimes envy, as it is a negative emotion, but sometimes following that trail, what makes me envious and why? What truly makes me envious? What makes me genuinely angry? And if that's, this person has this kind of success, or they have this kind of thing in their life, okay, then maybe take that energy from envy into admiration and take it into, well, what could I do to get that? Realizing that you have the power to get whatever it is. So what's the point of being envious? Like, it's yours too. It's your opportunity. So I feel like by the time 3 years rolls around, you guys have done a lot of that work. So let's see what your lifestyle is going to be like in 3 years' time. Inner child. Okay. I think that's more of that shadow work I'm picking up on. And we got lost and found, healing, inspiration, and light. So there's so much healing work you guys are doing. There's so much shadow work. So I guess your guides want to kind of co-opt this reading and take it over and let you know that if you need help with any of your healing work, you can always ask them for help. They are around you. They are supporting us always. And I feel like some of you guys, maybe this has to do with your family. Like, I just feel like maybe, I think that's where most of us pick up our bad energetic habits, our ideas of lack, our ideas of not having enough, our ideas of things aren't working out for us, or things don't work out for us, or whatever negative speak we have, or I can't get that, or I'm not good enough, or I have to react this way, I have to do this to be worthy. All those things a lot of times happen when we're growing up and when we're in our family. Like, our parents aren't trying to be mean. They're not trying to like put this idea in our heads, but that's what ends up happening because of their own issues, their own ideas of how the world works. And so I feel like for some of you guys, maybe this has to do with doing like the family work, doing the shadow work. And by the time 3 years rolls around, that you guys have done so much of the shadow work. You guys have really, really, really pushed through a lot of it and moved into this empowered energy of, I don't really have to worry. I don't really have to take on all this negativity. I don't really have to think of myself in a negative way. I can expect positive things to happen. I can think of myself in a positive way. I can welcome in the best energy. I can be excited for my future. And so I feel by the time 3 years rolls around, honestly, you guys have just done the work and now you're ready for the fresh start, which I love. I think it's kind of like, I always say, it's like, you got to clean your apartment before you bring in new furniture, right? Like, you can't have, like, imagine a dirty apartment that you've never cleaned once, like full of, just random, how sometimes you'll be like chopping up food and like some of it drops on the floor and you never cleaned any of it up. And so there was like debris, and then there was dust, and there's all this, maybe even dirt tracked in, or, just things just get dirty, over time, and you never cleaned any of it. And if you tried to buy new furniture, even if you bought the most spotless, incredible, expensive $100,000 set of furniture, it would look horrible because your apartment would be like gross and everyone would be like, ew, this is nasty. So we gotta clean up the old stuff to bring in the new and have that fresh slate. And I feel like you guys are doing that in this 3-year time. Let me get some final cards. What's happening in pile 3's life by the time 3 years are off? Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences, cosmic womb, the divine feminine, stars in the sky, limitless possibility. And let's see if we get one more for pile 4, empty well, time to replenish and overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So there's a lot of positivity. I feel like by the time you guys do all this shadow work, now you have this energy of welcoming in all the blessings and having more than you could imagine, having things work out for you better than you thought, having things happen that just it honestly feels like some of you guys are throwing off shackles or taking off. I'm seeing like chains being broken. So maybe you have right now, maybe some of you guys are even suffering with depression, anxiety, that kind of a thing. And in the future, in 3 years' time, you really learn how to deal with it. You really learn how to deal with these issues, and you really start to feel those energies lifting from you. Maybe you get stressed, anxious, you get in your head about certain things. Maybe you guys get overwhelmed or whatever. And in the future, it's like, okay, I can deal with it by doing this. I don't have to freak myself out. I don't have to get in my head. I have the power to make myself feel better. I have the power to change my life. I don't have to stay stuck in this stagnant energy. And I feel like that allows you now to really bring in the life you want. And that is going to give you guys so much abundance and wealth, happiness, and really, to me, Cosmic Womb is the message that we can bring forth whatever we want in this world, because the womb has the power to bring in energies from the other side, from another dimension, right? So we can take a small thing that might not be much, and the job of the womb is to transform it into a beautiful human life. So I feel like it's like we can always take something that might not seem like much or might even seem negative, and we can turn it into the most positive, incredible thing ever. And that's kind of the role of the feminine, is to like take something small and transform it into something beautiful. So I feel like that's what you guys are doing at this time in your life, is you're kind of growing something that right now, if you are dealing with negativity, if you are dealing with stress, trauma, anxiety, that this energy is going to be gone in 3 years' time, and you guys are going to have alchemized it into something so beautiful and amazing and even better than you could have ever dreamed. So yeah, there's just so much joy coming in for you guys, and I love this for you. This is really beautiful. Pile 4. So let me know how it resonated in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your thoughts, and make sure to give this reading a thumbs up if it resonated with you. Hit the like button and make sure to subscribe and have notifications on so you find out as soon as I post. And if you guys like how I read tarot, then you should check out my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted the extended version of What Do They Think of You? So we get into a lot greater detail. We get messages from their higher self and get all kinds of additional info. So it's a great one to check out if you enjoyed that and want to know more about what your person, romantically speaking, thinks of you. I also posted one about what is the gossip about you a few days before that, and either already have posted or I'm just about to post what are your dreams trying to tell you. So check that out as well. Those are all going to be up on my Patreon, and I have over 25 readings over there, so check it out. You'll get access to all of that, and new ones are going up all the time over on Patreon. And if you want a private one-on-one reading with me, where I channel your energy exclusively and talk about whatever issue you want to talk about, then you can get that at briarrosetarot.com for that one-on-one session with me. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back very soon for another reading. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys then. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 5. So for your tarot, you guys got the 4 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, the Emperor, 5 of Wands, and the 6 of Cups. So for a lot of you guys, what's coming through is that in 3 years' time, you're going to be in a settled energy. You're going to have some kind of routine. I'm seeing you guys wake up at a certain time, maybe have the same breakfast every morning, maybe eat healthy, that kind of a thing. It feels like you've really figured your schedule out, and you've really figured out what makes you happy in this life and what you need to do to achieve certain things, accomplish certain things, and you have a certain level of empowerment where you get to choose where you live, where you go, what you do with your life. and really make those decisions about your future. With the Three of Wands, there might be a move in store. You might have moved, or you might be in the process of moving in 3 years' time. But it feels like if you can think of it or want it, or you have an interest in it, you can financially afford to do it. You have that level of power in your life. For some of you guys, you are going to be married and even have kids in 3 years' time. So you could be single and just living your best life. And in that kind of what I associate with like suburban families in the US, where it's like things are settled, you wake up, maybe you wake up early and you make each other coffee, and then you're having your oatmeal for breakfast, and then maybe someone's mowing the lawn and someone else is like, I don't know, like redoing the patio furniture or something, I don't know. But it's kind of that settled energy of like, let's go on Sunday to the store and stock up on groceries, and let's go to Target and buy a bunch of like decorations for whatever holiday is happening. So if it's Halloween, we're going to buy a bunch of pumpkins, and if it's Easter, we're going to buy some Easter eggs and like rabbits and little bunnies to put everywhere, it's like that feeling of things being settled and really enjoying your life in that sense, and really having that settled energy where you've mastered your routine. Things are very balanced and somewhat disciplined. And for some of you guys, this is going to be happening in the form of a marriage or a connection to someone. So you might be getting married. We did get the Four of Wands, which can be a marriage card. And we also got the Six of Cups. So you might be having kids with this person as well. It might be a situation where in 3 years' time, you already had a baby and like you are nursing that baby, waking up at a certain time to nurse that baby, or you're waking up at a certain time to feed them, or maybe, maybe even this is an energy that might take a little longer than 3 years, but maybe it's an older child and you're like getting them ready for school or something. And for some of you guys, it might also be being pregnant and welcoming in a baby and getting excited for some of that. So if you definitely don't want kids, then just disregard this part of the reading. Obviously, it's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. But if you do want kids and a family, I am feeling this energy where things are settled and you can bring that in. And if you're going to be single at this time, it just feels like your life is in that settled, like I said, kind of suburban feeling. Of course, you don't have to live in the suburbs. People can have families in cities, in rural areas, lots of different places, and you can also live in the suburbs and be single or whatever. But it just feels like things are settled for you. Things are on some kind of routine. Things are disciplined. You guys have really worked that part of your life out. And so now you're able to really balance the discipline with the fun and with your emotional side. So with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, this could be someone who really fulfills you and you guys just click and you get each other. You guys might share goals. You might have the same idea of what you want your kids to do. Maybe you both want them to be athletes and play sports, and you think that like physical exercise is super important. Or maybe you want them both to be on the chess team, and you both think that like academics is the most important thing and you want them to really take that seriously. Or you want them to have certain types of manners or celebrate or be in a certain culture, a certain religion. Maybe you guys are both Christian, or maybe you're both Muslim, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like you guys share this in common. You're on the same page with a lot and you get along about a lot of things. And if you do have discussions and disagreements, it feels like you can always come back to like this place of we're on the same page, we share the same goals, and that's a major uniting factor for you guys. And I think in all relationships, if you can get on the same page about that, it does so much good. Yeah, and you guys both might be financially successful because we got the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor coming out one after the other on top of each other. So maybe they have some money and status and they kind of are particular about things, are someone who's not just drifting through life. They do have certain goals, certain desires, and certain things that they're particular about, and you're the same. Like, but I feel like that unites you guys. Like, I feel like you wouldn't want to be with someone who just is like, oh, whatever, anything's fine, it all works. You want to be with someone who's also ambitious. You want to be with someone who cares as much as you do. And I do feel like you get that with this other person. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff uniting you guys. But what's interesting is that Three of Wands, because again, you guys might be making that move or have made a move, or you might be planning a move at this time. If that's something you guys are thinking of doing right now, then you can take it as confirmation that you will make a move. But I do feel like there's something you're looking forward to at this time, tapping into your energy 3 years in the future. I feel like you guys are very excited for something. You're planning something. Everyone in this pile is planning something, whether it's a move, whether it's a new house purchase, engagement or a wedding, or a new baby, a new child, or even like a child going off to school or something like that. But there's a really excitable feeling of like, I can't wait for this. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so happy this happened. I'm so joyful about this. So yeah, you guys are very positive about whatever's going on in your life. And I feel like it's almost like you worked hard for this for a long time. You were wanting to bring this in, and now you're overjoyed that it's actually here and actually happening. So let me get some astro dice for pile 5. So we got Aries, we got Saturn, and we got the 8th house, Scorpio. So some really intense energies here. Saturn is all about restriction. It's all about boundaries. It's all about lessons and all of that. It relates to the 10th house of career. It relates to Capricorn. And so I feel like you guys have that Capricorn energy where you're being disciplined. Like, I think to Capricorns, discipline feels good. Most Capricorns I know, they don't want to feel out of control. They don't want to like randomly do something that is destructive just for the fun of it, you know? Of course, there can be low vibrational Capricorns, Capricorn suns who have other placements in their chart that might make them prone to other kind of self-destructive behaviors. But most Capricorns realize they get punished by the universe really hard when they step out of line, and they tend to just like to be aligned with like, okay, I'm feeling good, maybe I'm eating good, I'm eating healthily. Like Capricorn moons that I know pretty much always are healthy eaters, or they care about what they eat. They feel better emotionally when things are organized in their life. And so I feel like for you guys, you are in an energy where you're at a great place. You might be eating healthy, you might be working out, or just sticking to a routine, like ticking off like chores and like to-do lists and ticking off things you want to accomplish and really staying disciplined. And I feel like that makes you feel really good, even though that's not necessarily something our society or culture glamorizes, is like the beauty of discipline. It really is something that adds so much to your life. And I feel like you guys have figured that out. So you're goal oriented at this time, you're getting after things, you are having a lot of energy for like the little tasks that life takes to make happen. Like you are excited about like, I can't wait to mow the lawn, or I can't wait to do the laundry, or I can't wait to, like I said, go shopping for the groceries. I feel like you just have a lot of energy, and Aries is there, ruled by Mars, first house. So that is also an energy that has a lot of that fire and that get up and go and that excitable spirit. And Aries is all about going after what you want and getting it. And I feel like both you and your spouse, if you do have a spouse at this point, have mastered that. You're really good at manifesting or bringing things in, about going after goals, about making things happen. You guys are really good with that. And with the 8th house, that can talk about other people's money. Scorpio and Pluto are there as well. So right now we have Capricorn, Aries, and Scorpio might be the astrology signs some of you guys have. But with Scorpio and 8th house, it's all about joining with another person and really linking into them and really joining them on a deep soul level. And it's also about sharing their income. So again, as I was saying, this person's probably pretty successful. We got the Emperor. So it might be that you have your own money, but they might also be more financially powerful than you, or there might be some dynamic where you want to be a stay-at-home mom and they are happy to pay for you or something like that. Or you might have your own money, but it's just that you guys are linking accounts, which is pretty normal when you guys are married. But I feel like this does a lot for you. I feel like this does add to your lifestyle. It's like, okay, now we get to plan our vacation, or we get to do some kind of investment that wasn't available to me earlier with a solo account. So now I feel like when you guys combine incomes, or through this person's income, it opens certain things up for you and allows you to live a life that maybe you guys only dreamed of, or maybe you thought was really far off in the future, but now you really get to get into that settled, like beautiful life. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to love your home wherever you live. That's going to be a major thing for you, is like having a beautiful house and keeping it neat and organized and tidy, and really enjoying your living space, really enjoying how everything looks and decorating it and getting it ready for the different holidays, and like even cleaning the counters, and like maybe the kind of counters you have, maybe you wanted a specific type of marble and you get that exact you know, color and the look you wanted. But I feel like you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this, whatever this planning is, whatever this anticipation is. It's like in 3 years time, you're waiting for something to finish, you're waiting for something to get ready, and I'm seeing you guys be so excited and just like so much anticipation coming through. And you guys also might be known in like your neighborhood or in your social scene for hosting amazing dinner parties and for having everything on point. I feel like your social life is going to be really kind of going really well. We got the Four of Wands. You might be going to a lot of different parties, different occasions, weddings. It could be that you and your partner just like met through mutual friends, met through a party or something, and both of you guys socialize with the same crew, or you have the same kinds of friends. Like maybe they're not the exact same, but maybe like both of you guys are lawyers and most of your friends are lawyers, or maybe like they're a doctor and you're a lawyer, and some of your friends are like very similar and very goal-oriented group. Or maybe, you know, both of you guys are actors and you're both kind of trying to make it in the industry and you vibe on that level. But I just feel like you have a really great group of friends and you're very connected to them. Like I feel like you enjoy that, and you guys are really great hosts. Like your friends really like you. They love when you have an event. They love when you have an occasion. And there's just so much kind of fun adult stuff going on around you. Not in a weird way, but like, you know, those adult things of like having a dinner party, or like planning out, I don't know, like a college fund. I mean, that's not really fun, but you know, it's fun to be at that stage financially, right? It's fun to have that level of security. It's fun to plan a vacation. It's fun to make those plans or see your kid and they're young and you wonder what they're going to be like when they grow up, you know? So I feel like you're enjoying kind of this stage in your life where it feels like things are a little more settled and it feels like you're ready to make those big plans for the future, and you're just really enjoying that. So let me get some of these cards for you guys. So Spirit, can you tell us what is going to be happening in pile 5's life in 3 years time? What's going to be happening in pile 5's life in 3 years time? Friendship. Yes, definitely. So we got friendship, which I was just talking about. Psychic abilities. Home. Okay, this is great confirmation because I feel like we have been talking about a lot of this stuff. So it's nice to know. It's nice when Spirit comes through to confirm that you are going to be having a beautiful home, and a lot of your energy is going to be put towards that, like how to decorate it, what to do with it. All the little getting the home ready type of things. I feel like you guys might have like a really high-end blender, or have like really high-end appliances, or you have a lot of fun picking out your appliances or something like that. It feels like you're at a stage in your life now where you have a little bit of power, like you have a level of success where now you get to make those fun choices. Like, even though I guess they might not seem fun to everyone, I think it's nice to plan like redoing a room and what kind of wallpaper are we going to use, or what kind of blender should we buy, or how should we set up this area in our space, or how should we decorate that, or you know, what color should we paint the kids' room? Like, I feel like that is a fun stage, and I feel like you're really enjoying having that power. Or when, like I said, planning a party for your friends, which are a major part of your life, like, okay, what kind of hors d'oeuvres should we serve? What kind of wine should we serve? What kind of things, who should we invite? All those questions. Like, I feel like you just really enjoy this, and you're welcoming in whatever this new beginning is, either a move, like I said, a new child, a wedding, a marriage. There's just some planning going on about whatever this new event is. And of course, it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everyone. But that's kind of the region of your life I see it in, is like home, that home sector, that family sector, that romantic sector. So yeah, I feel like it's taken you a while to kind of earn this status. It's like you have this new status that, again, I feel like sometimes getting married, having that you know, having that ring and all those things, it does give you, whether that's right or wrong, just that validation in society of like, okay, these people are really connected and they're going to be together for a long time. And obviously we know it doesn't always work out, but like it matters to have that kind of document and to have that confirmation to everyone, to the world, that like, yes, we are intending to stay together for a long time. We are linked legally. So I think that people do treat people differently when they're like married versus when they're still single or unmarried, even in a relationship and unmarried. So it's like, I feel like you just really enjoy the status you have from being with this person, from having your life very settled, and also from having your own financial level of success, which I do feel like you guys in this pile will have in 3 years' time. So let me get some cards from this deck and see what else is happening for pile 5 in 3 years' time. Door to romance. Angel of love. Oh, I love that. Magician and the mirror. The sun. And the thinking man. So your partner might be a little bit of a thinker. They might be someone who, and this kind of was going to fall out. Let me get one more too. Patience. So I feel by the time this has happened, you guys have a lot more patience. We did get the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like you understand that good things take time and that discipline is a great solution to a lot of life's problems. You just seem in that energy of kind of like a patient mom who's like very understanding of their children, or who's not like, I think sometimes when you're young, you're trying to rush everything. And it's part of kind of becoming a parent or just an older person in general, is like understanding that things take time and understanding that you got to work hard. And that's why a lot of parents give those lessons to their kids. So yeah, you're in that kind of settled, like calm energy. But yeah, I feel like you're very connected to your partner. We got door to romance and angel of love. You guys might be going on little trips together out into like the countryside, or out to little like bed and breakfasts to spend time one-on-one with each other. I feel like you guys are just very, very connected and really love spending time one-on-one. You guys have the same sense of humor. You guys have the same values. And I feel like your partner is someone who does think deeply about things, has really strong opinions, and also is really smart. Like someone who's really intelligent and likes things done the right way. And I feel like you guys just very much see eye to eye on the same page with that. Like if they believe that something should be done in a certain way, you agree with them. You wouldn't be like, you're overreacting, or that's kind of stupid, or like, what are you talking about? You would be like, exactly, it should be done exactly like that. And I couldn't agree more. And so there's a lot you have in common on that front. There's a lot that you guys, again, you might be from the same background, same cultural background, same religion, same I don't know, same family type of family, but there's a lot you guys just see eye to eye with. And I do feel like you guys will probably be pretty healthy at this point, or have a good workout routine, have a real commitment to health. You guys are working out either together, or you're working out and like you wake up at a certain time, you eat healthily, all of that. So let me get more info on your lifestyle in 3 years' time. Spirit, can you give us some cards about pile 5? What is going to be going on in their lifestyle and their day-to-day in 3 years' time? Wow, friendship has come through a bunch of times. So that's a major thing for you. Come together. To me, that card is all about hosting events and stuff. So again, I feel like you guys are going to be having some really amazing parties, and maybe known in your friend group as like the best host who always throws amazing parties, the best host who always has like amazing food, and always has like an open bar, and always has amazing things to drink and to do. But I feel like people just love coming over and really respect how you and your spouse, or you and your partner, are handling things. Even if you guys aren't married, maybe you're not at that suburban stage yet, but you're like you live in the city, but you have a nice apartment and your friends just love coming over because you guys just host it so well and so beautifully. And all your friends are just like, ah, they just could it be any better? Like, I know when I go to their party, all the drinks, all the food is going to be on point. I feel like your friends are just a major part of your life. And I feel like your friends are very similar to you and your partner, or just you, but they are also go-getters. They are also getting after things. They are also trying to achieve certain things. And for you, this brings a lot of joy to your life, that you get to spend time with them, that you vibe with them, that you guys share a common vision. You guys are both, I feel, have that kind of, they might be earth dominant and you might be earth dominant in your charts, where I feel like they want things to happen a certain way. They're disciplined about certain things. They have an expectation of others, and you share that. So you guys really get along in that sense. Neither one of you guys are kind of just lazy or drifting through things. You're very much wanting to make certain things happen, and you're very much kind of not judgmental, but like someone who wants things to be done right, you know? And so I feel that you enjoy being around these people. I feel you have that in common, and you both respect each other. There's this mutual respect that you have for them and they have for you. And it's like both of you guys, or all of you guys in your group, are, yeah, like I said, go-getters, trying to achieve something, maybe high achievers or something. And everyone shares this kind of energy of like, I'm going to get up at 9 a.m. and I'm going to go work out and I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to do this and that. So it's like, because of that kind of vibe, it's like someone would probably need to be that way to fit into this group. They couldn't just come in and be like, yeah, I woke up at like 1 p.m. and then I went back to sleep and then I watch something on Netflix. Like, they would have to have some kind of fire, some kind of, you know, get up and go inside of them to fit in with your crew. So yeah, I feel like whether you're single or in a relationship, your social life is going to be very on point, and you're going to really enjoy being with this group of like-minded individuals that you really respect. And you guys might all be entrepreneurs or something. You guys might all be people that run their own businesses or just are in a good financial place. But that's really something that I think brings you a lot of joy. Maybe your partner is someone who brought you into this friend group, or if you're single, you got your way into this friend group, period. But I feel like you really enjoy this. Like, it brings you a lot of happiness. We got the Six of Cups, we got Inner Child, we got the Queen of Cups. So you guys are very plugged into them. You're really enjoying this time and like taking the time out to have fun. And it might be in a way like you're able to unleash your Six of Cup energy yourself, where maybe you usually are very disciplined, but you're learning to like, so you work hard, play hard. So like, you know, you get things done, but then on the weekends you're out partying, or you're making that time out to like go to the best places, go to like get an amazing meal at a restaurant, go to meet up with your friends and get a mani-pedi together. But yeah, I feel like you just are very on point. I feel like physically too, you're going to be looking on point. Like, you're going to be taking the time out to like make sure your hair is done, your nails are done, you look good. Physically, you feel in good shape. Like, whatever your favorite way your body is, like whatever size you prefer yourself at, or how you feel your best within your body, you're going to be there. You're going to be feeling energetic. You're going to be looking beautiful. You're going to be looking gorgeous, is what I'm hearing. So let me get some cards from this deck. So Spirit, can you tell us what's going to be going on in pile 5's life in 3 years' time? So we got many masks, the authentic self, crown games, right use of power. That's interesting. Repairing the veil, forgiveness. So with crown games, I'm getting the vibe that for some of you guys, like, it might be that there's a little bit of social games going on in this friend group. Like, maybe for some of you guys, you're with friends and they are I don't want to say power hungry, but like there's that thing that happens in friend groups where maybe like, should we invite Sarah? I don't know, she was kind of annoying. Let's exclude her. Like, not like that bad. That's making it sound really bad saying the word exclude, but maybe it's like, with competitive people, it can turn into not a competition, but like where you are paying attention to those social dynamics, because sometimes people can get offended over a small thing, or people can get feel close to someone over something small, and then those two people become closer and they become really close best friends, and then the other person they used to be best friends with is offended, and then they try to become best friends with someone else to like make the other person jealous, and and even though everyone's just friends and not even romantic partners, it can become that kind of like constant, not drama, but you know what I mean, like activity, which can be fun sometimes, I think. I don't know, not always, but I'm just saying, I'm not seeing you guys be like horrified by this, but maybe that's that Five of Wands energy as well, where maybe with your friends there's like jostling for power. There's like that kind of, which I think is just an inevitability of whenever you're in any kind of high status situation, there's always going to be people trying to claw their way up into it, and whenever you're in it, you have to like maintain and look after yourself, whether you're in like the court of Versailles back in the day, or you're in a modern day like random high school in who knows where, anywhere, literally any state, like Kentucky, New Jersey, California, any state, there's always going to be, no matter what the high school is, that kind of group that people want to become part of, and then people get jealous, or there can be toxic energies, of course, but it's like, I think just an inevitability too of like powerful situations is like people want to join, people who are inside it are afraid of getting excluded, and sometimes that might not even be a toxic situation. It might just be, what I mean, like that kind of feeling of having to maintain, or that thing where you're kind of like, oh, okay, so wait, so I shouldn't invite Jessica to the party because you guys are in a fight? Oh, okay, I mean, I'm cool with her, but I guess if you're uncomfortable, I won't invite her. And you're having to pay attention to those dynamics, which again, I don't think all of that has to be negative. I think sometimes that can, keep things interesting, keep you on your toes. So I'm not saying this as a bad thing. I just think it's an inevitability of this kind of social group where like there's a lot of people who probably want to get in on this, or there's a high status group around you and they're competitive and they are gonna be picky. Anytime you're dealing with someone who has access to the best of the best, they're going to be more picky about things. They're going to be like, I don't like this. And so yeah, I think you guys just might have to deal with that. Let's see what else is coming up. For pile 5 in 3 years time, Spirit, can you give us some clarity? What is coming up for pile 5? Oh, I just love when it takes 5 minutes to shuffle a card. We got Sky Dancers, Surrender. What's coming up for pile 5? First breath, beginner's mind. So some of you guys might be having that pregnancy. You guys, I feel, are going to be physically looking really good. I already mentioned that, but I just want to bring that up again, that physically you're going to be looking gorgeous. And if you guys have a high-end taste in fashion and stuff, and maybe you don't always have the money to afford exactly what you want to buy or exactly what you want to wear, you are going to have that money and you are going to be able to get whatever you want, dress how you want, look how you want. You guys are going to be very on point with style and with your aesthetic. A lot of people are going to find you physically really beautiful. I'm seeing you guys have a very glamorous look to you. And it is interesting we got the Crown Games card, because I'm seeing some of you guys literally look like a queen or a princess. And we did get 2 queen cards in the original tarot poll. So I feel like you guys are going to be looking really beautiful. And that might be a thing that happens in this group. Maybe they are a little competitive or something like that. So it's funny, we got kind of interesting energies coming in. Although I think these kinds of groups can form within parents, but I guess we usually associate them with like younger people and like maybe singles and stuff like that. But I do think that like socially the environment for parents can be cutthroat too. So whether you are married or single, it just feels like this kind of, maybe you have some level of social status or something like that. I don't know, but but it feels like your activity, you enjoy it. Like you enjoy getting dressed up for the events. You enjoy getting dressed up to meet up with your friends. And maybe there is a little pressure. Maybe you do get nervous about like, I hope I'm dressed right. I hope I'm wearing the right thing. I hope my hair looks good, because it is a little competitive. Maybe your friends are that type that maybe they would judge you if you showed up looking a little like not your best, hair a little messy, and not the best makeup situation. Maybe they would judge you, but you like being around them and you kind of like that pressure. That is Capricorn. Capricorn loves a challenge. Capricorn gets beaten down by Saturn so much that they love a challenge. They end up like enjoying it, because it's like, once you lean into the realization of like, it's a challenge and, Saturn might punish you, I don't know, it somehow becomes fun. It's like, okay, well, I guess all bets are off and we might as well just go for it. So I feel like you guys are ready for this kind of challenge. You're ready for this energy of like, I want to compete. I want to be the best I can be. I want to live up to my highest potential. So I feel like you're doing that in all areas of life. Financially, you're doing it. With your looks, you're doing it. With your friend group, you're doing it. Maybe with your family, you're doing it. But there is this competitiveness coming through really strongly throughout the reading. And with many masks, the authentic self, it might be that like, yeah, to fit into this group, maybe you guys have to act a certain way or whatever. But again, I'm not seeing it as like a 100% negative, even though I know this may sound really negative and you might be like, this sounds like a nightmare, but I don't feel like it's just a horrible situation for you. And if you guys are single at this time, I am getting a message that you're going to have a lot of suitors. Like there's going to be so many people after you, so many people who want to date you, so many people who are interested in you in that way and that really wish they could be with you and that would like do anything to date you, or when they're trying to date you, they're going to really lay on the charm. They're going to like, try to impress you and try to take you out to expensive meals and try to really show you how much they can add to your life. So there's going to be a lot of people around you who are just like impressed with you, who are noticing you looking good, who can see what you're putting out to the world, and who are really just, I feel like, acknowledging all you're bringing to the table, all the work you're doing. And if you are in a relationship at this point or married or whatever, then people are just going to be like, wow, I can't believe, how does she do it all? Wow, she looks so good, or he looks so good, or like they're such a glamorous couple. But a lot of people are just going to be paying attention to like, I feel like the level of success you guys have achieved and everything you guys have together. Like people are just really thinking you guys are on point with this. People are thinking that you guys have so many things figured out, and they have a lot of respect for how you guys are carrying yourselves at this stage in your life. So let me get some final cards from this deck. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. We got new beginnings, power, and opportunity. You guys definitely have a lot of power at this phase in your life. I feel like it's kind of been a long time coming, but you're at a point now where you're kind of getting to really make your own choices, pick your own moves. Like you're no longer kind of limited in your resources or limited with your kind of lifestyle. If you want to do something or travel somewhere or go somewhere, I feel like you guys will have that opportunity. So yeah, I think at this stage, you're going to be looking forward to a lot. You're going to have a lot more that's exciting that's coming in. Some of you guys might have a spiritual advisor like that you talk to all the time, like a special tarot reader or a psychic. We got a lot of psychic cards about that. And that's what I'm getting, is you might have someone who is like your personalized Reiki healer or your personalized tarot reader that you also always go to, or astrologer or whatever. And y'all know just quickly that I always recommend Keen for that if you're looking for that. And or myself, you can always go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, but you just might have someone that you really rely on, or that does like acupuncture or something like that. I feel like you just have the resources to get kind of the best of the best and really have those check-ins and have those second opinion. So yeah, you're just very empowered all over, like everything in your life. You get to have those options that whatever you want, you can choose. So anyway, this was a really interesting reading, pile 5. I really hope it resonated. Let me know how it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, so let me know your thoughts. And also make sure to give this reading a like, hit the thumbs up button, and make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on so you find out as soon as I post. And if you like how I read tarot, then you should definitely check out my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one the other day all about what your person thinks of you, the extended version. So we get into all the kind of details that we can't necessarily fit on YouTube, and we get into messages from their higher self and get a lot more info from them that we didn't get into during the YouTube reading. I also posted what is the gossip about you so that might really apply for you guys, because I feel like you do have this group around you somehow, so it might be interesting to watch. That's on Patreon, and I'm going to be posting a reading all about what your dreams are trying to tell you. So either that's already up right now as you're watching or just about to go up. So anyway, there's a lot to look out for. We post new content all the time, and you'll get access to 25 readings that are already up there. So go ahead and check out my Patreon. Link is in my description for that. And if you guys want a private one-on-one reading with me, like I said, you can go to briarrosetarot.com and get a private, personalized tarot session for whatever issues you guys want to ask about. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys then. Bye.